Oh boy. Oh boy. Where is Aiden when you need him?
I sent him a
He's
link.
supposed to be coming, isn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, hello everybody. Good
Hi,
morning. Today we're gonna be laughing the entire time because it's Beamsy's birthday. He's 10 leap years old now.
Oh, tell him I said happy birthday.
Happy birthday, Beamsy. This is your birthday song. You're only 4 years old.
That was so weird. Sorry, guess
It's all good. It is all good. Laugh all you want.
That was funny.
Oh, that's a cool background you got there. I like
Yes,
it.
I got it from
The
you.
Gangster Ghost. I know. I remember.
Oh, thank you. Good say you say he reposted?
What? Oh yeah, it's totally reposted. Let's see. Hang on a second. Where is everything and nothing and everything else? Here we go. So yeah, he even posted a post on Facebook about him reposting the
Sorry.
the rant. Yeah. So you want to watch it?
Yeah.
All right, Doc. World events. So,
all right, Doc. So he's talking to Kent Hovind while he's driving east on Highway 6. I know this because I've driven this route myself many. Oh wait, I'm channeling my inner Skylar. I better stop.
Literally very many times.
Yes. And he's on his way to buy cigarettes because this is where he buys cigarettes when he's in DAL territory, which is exactly where he's coming from.
today in the United States of America, public schools have become worse than what you think they are. While debate creation versus evolution, trying to get evolution.
Your balls have been covered in milk and breadcrumbs. Before you lies a KFC deep fry.
It's the same old rant he has on here.
It is. But what's interesting about this video is not necessarily what he's saying, but to whom he is saying it and where he is traveling, which yesterday we figured out he was driving away from DAL and towards the gas station, which I pulled up on Google Earth and identified as the Marathon on Highway 6, only about a little over 5 miles from Dinosaur Adventureland as the crow flies. But you'll also see some clues in this video that really are telltale indicators of where he is geographically.
This is getting really weird. Who cares what he is doing? Missy Mob, weren't you the one that was talking about how he was going to kill you just yesterday?
Well, even last night, she made a post, which I don't know. Let me see, because she deleted it pretty readily. But here, let me share this, and you can see in my notifications what is left of the post that she did. Ooh,
I'm just obsessed now mentally with the idea of Ken getting tortured by Jigsaw. It's so great. It's so poetic.
But
there's
as
anybody
you can
that
see,
deserves it.
When you click on the post, something went wrong. However, in my notifications, you can still see what she said, and she said, missing a month, mentioned you in a post. So yeah, that was her and mentioning me. I don't have the entirety of the content of this post because she removed it, but remnants of it remained in my notifications. She said, "I want to go live again, so if the killer shows up, I will have it recorded. Is anyone else out there? I could just react to funny animal videos or something. Someone comments, I'll do it. Lol." So that was I don't know like how or what she was tagging me for or why,
Yeah.
but she was, and there's that. I mean, if you want to come explain that, Mod, you can.
Well,
Totally.
she says in the comments, it's the classic 2016 YouTube response. It's just a prank, bro.
Oh yeah, of course. That satisfies my curiosity.
It's just a prank, bro. Like, what do you want from her?
Right. Okay.
Very worse. So nowadays, there's.
Can we remove the word "very" from Skylar's vocabulary, please?
You barely have any.
Just please.
Only if we can also remove the words literally and figuratively. I think he might be much more intelligible if we could do that.
I was trying to see if you were awake. It was a joke. Mr. Mod, you said that you were done with Mark like 20 times at this point. Come on now. Come on.
I do sleep at night, most nights. On occasion when my insomnia is acting up, I will not sleep at night. But most nights I do sleep at night. So when it's like 3 a.m., chances of me being up and online are pretty slim.
You know what, Mark? I'm done with you. I'm sick of all the hate in your heart. I've done nothing but try to bring goodness and love and joy into your life, and you just throw nothing but hate back at me. I'm done with it. By the way, are you awake? You awake right now, Mark? You around?
I hate
I'm just wondering if you're around.
You. That's why I love you.
I just
kidnapping children.
want to talk to you so bad.
From non-abusive, good-loving parents, nonetheless, to provide and calling it sanctuary.
Oh, by the way, can anybody confirm what Skylar's saying here, that governments, municipalities, are kidnapping children to transition them to other genders against their will?
That's straight up conspiracy nonsense. Is what that is.
Closest thing to it is that they allow kids to go to these states and they tech them, I guess. That's wrong, but they're not going in like he's saying, kidnapping them or anything. But
No.
No.
You want to talk about kidnapping, Skylar? What about all the fundamentalist religious camps out there where they will legitimately gaffle your kid? I mean, like, with the parents' permission, obviously. But they do legitimately gaffle kids up and take them in the middle of the night to these religious camps and subject them to a whole bunch of fundamentalist nonsense for weeks on end with no access to the outside world, no outside connections, just you and your bunkmates. That's all you got. You, the bunkmates, and Jesus for the next couple of months straight. That actually happens. No mention of that anywhere.
No surgery or anything, but they do transition, but I'm not sure about, I don't think any surgery or anything.
No, there's not surgery. I can guarantee you that, because they have very, very strict regulations for surgery when you're an adult, let alone when you're a minor and don't qualify for those procedures.
Well, yeah, when he said kidnapping, no, they just allow him go to there or something, but that's all. It's not actually like what he's talking about, like they come in and take him and stuff. It's not like that. They just nothing like what he's saying.
Well, that and let me share this real quick also, which is an interesting thing for Skylar to be bringing up in the context of kidnapping, because in this text message to an unknown recipient or an anonymous recipient, Skylar had sent a list of there's a whole list of contacts that he and well, this is what he wrote about contacts. He says, Check that out. Those are 3 FBI agents, a CIA guy, an NSA guy, 3 U.S. Navy guys, a high-up Mexican cartel guy, a Marine, Christians, and more that I'm absolutely getting involved in this situation with Mark, that's me, for stuff like this. Several law enforcement officers of various kinds. I will absolutely make sure he never sees his daughter again for his lies if he does it. Never see his daughter ever again. I'm tired of his lies. And he follows that up with, let's see. Oops, I don't have that one. But he followed it up with saying 3 minutes ago, I lied. So, in the context of claiming that children are being kidnapped, it sure is ironic that he would, go to those lengths to suggest that my daughter should be kidnapped from me because I have an opinion on scripture. Yeah. Okay. Not crazy at all. Not at all.
This guy had this insane rant. Same thing he said before. It's just crazy.
Skylar having an insane rant, that's unheard of.
To give those children sex change operations. I mean, this is asinine. Completely.
You're right, it is asinine.
Yeah, what he's saying is asinine.
Ridiculous. And these are prepubescent children. These are young children. It's state-mandated curriculum. Very literally state-mandated curriculum.
No, just because you use the word very literally does not make it true, Skylar.
First grade, kindergarten, first grade, second grade, gender identity. It's becoming illegal.
Oh my gosh, gender identity exists? We can't tell children about that.
And they're trying to make it a hate crime to call a man. If that man...
Look, man. Oh,
well,
no.
First of all, hate crimes are not a thing in America. Like, those don't exist. As far as, like, actual... Like, look, when I say hate crime, I mean, like violence. Violent hate crime exists. Yes, like crime motivated, like lynchings are hate crimes.
Sure,
but
all crimes
lynchings take on a physical characteristic that calling somebody a different name than what they identify just doesn't. Nobody's actually getting hurt in that scenario. I mean, like, physically. Maybe somebody's feelings will get hurt in that situation because they're basically being an asshole, let's face it. You're purposefully calling somebody a different thing just to be a contrarian. You are being an asshole, in my opinion. And that's different than actually committing a crime. Like, just being a jerk to somebody is fundamentally different than actually doing wrong to them.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean when I say that hate crimes in terms of, like, words don't exist. I should have clarified that.
Instead of pausing, I'm just going to mute Skylar because as Logan has pointed out a few times, it's the same nonsensical rant that he's been ranting on his page and Boland's page and in this supposedly private message to Kent that he posted publicly on YouTube and then privated and then realized that it had already been seen, so he reposted it publicly. Anyway, that's where we are now. Driving east on Highway 6 in, I think, what is Conecuh County, Alabama.
Think about that, Mark. You are forced to let your kids get an operation done to change their gender. He's just being dramatic, but I think he's saying that you can't deny a child the right to pick whatever sex change operator. That's not true, Missing Mod. Children don't get sex change operations.
Yeah,
they don't.
Doesn't happen.
Okay, what do you mean an adult doesn't have the right to stop a child from performing? Of course they do. An adult automatically holds authority medically over choices made over their child. That's the way that things work in America. Until you're an adult, your parent has the final authority on what is or is not administered to you medically, period.
Yeah, your parent. Yeah, not just any adult, your parent.
Yes, your parent. That's what I mean. Your parent or legal guardian is the person who has jurisdiction over you medically. You don't get to decide things for yourself medically until you're 18.
Yeah, I'm not saying like here's this only one case where this place took their kid away because the parents didn't want to not surgery him, but chemical. What's it called? The puberty blockers and stuff.
HRT and stuff.
Yeah, but that's the only one case I ever heard of. Them take away a kid like that, but is that big?
All right, so we're gonna pause right here, and we can see that he is clearly going west by way of that direction being south, and the next exit, or he's going east. I'm sorry, he's definitely eastbound. Yeah, so going to the right would be going south. Continuing on to the next exit, which would left.
Are you saying that children are getting chemically castrated now, Missing Mod? Is that what you're saying? Because the only people that get chemically castrated in the United States are sex offenders.
That happens?
Oh yeah.
What?
I think it's
that.
like
That's awesome.
for pedophiles especially. That's definitely the best way to do it.
So, in case you were unsure of the location on County Road 6, I'm just going to do a little quick comparison on Google Earth, as you can see here that I'm sharing currently.
Oh,
And
okay, Missing Mod, I got you.
Can you guys hear me?
No, I can hear you, Mark. I'm sorry, I just
okay.
rudely interrupted you.
That's
are you calling me Missing Mod? Is that
No. She was saying something in the side chat to clarify what she was saying, so I said, okay, I understand what you're meaning now.
There's actually 26 states and counting banning that altogether, and tons of states.
What ban? What, chemical castration?
No, not that. Puberty blockers and cross-gender hormone stuff.
Yeah, I disagree with that. I think that those options should absolutely be made available to people.
Yeah, but yeah, they ban it in 26 states and counting.
Yeah, I don't think that it's medically sound to deny people access to treatments that have been shown to lead to better patient outcomes.
I don't know.
And I mean that as a whole. I don't mean that as every single person that gets it immediately feels like this was the best thing for them. I'm talking about as a whole. It's like with vaccines. Unfortunately, there are some people who legitimately do die from vaccines because they have such adverse reactions to them. But those people are a necessary sacrifice, in my mind, pragmatically, in exchange for the hundreds of thousands, if not millions, that are saved. You know, in the medical field, it's never an easy thing to determine. It's always a matter of weighing risk and weighing pragmatic solutions. It's never a matter of, well, what's the cure-all? What I'm saying is you're wrong, Logan. I'm just kidding. I'm just joking.
Okay.
I'm just joking.
Well, are you going to marry Dune?
Yes. Brianna is very upset and jealous, but I am going to marry a franchise. It's going to happen.
Well, did you see that video? That Snob guy did a review of the original Dune.
Yeah, the 84 one. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a comedy guy, kind of like nostalgia critic and angry video game guy.
I'm not saying Skylar was right. I'm just saying that he was being dramatic. Okay, well, he's not being dramatic. He's spreading misinformation. He's not being dramatic. He's literally propagating a falsehood. He very literally is propagating a falsehood, Missing Mod.
Literally, not figuratively?
No.
Literally, not
No, for the guy that always goes around calling everybody liars, the fact that he just goes around spewing this garbage, it almost comes across as a really just horrible fantasy, and is just totally making this thing up whole cloth out of nowhere with no actual substance to it whatsoever. It's just, where's this coming from?
I heard he also said
it's just nothing but fear mongering.
He said that babies are getting their head chopped off and by the guys in that in Israel.
There's only one video that's come out of babies being thrown into a furnace, and that wasn't the Palestinians that were doing it. Just saying.
And he also said that keep on talking about them getting the R-word to their pelvis break, and they send videos to the parent. That's what he keep on saying. He said this.
Well, yeah, it's not true. It's just propaganda that basically is used. So, oh, look, they're doing a whole bunch of bad things to us, so that justifies us doing bad things to them. Yeah, look at the Hatfields and McCoys. That worked out really well for them, didn't it? Just constantly just engaging in a never-ending cycle of vengeance and comeuppance and constantly needing to make sure that the other side gets what's theirs. That's the story of this little chunk of dirt for the last 100 years, and it's such a travesty for the human condition.
Yeah. He reposted this.
And then, of course, there's horrific people out there in the world like Skylar who cheer it on, who are happy to see people get displaced out of their homes and killed en masse. And as long as they're on the other side, as long as they're on the bad guy team, whatever. It's disgusting. And those people have no right to go around talking about the atrocities visited upon their people if they're just as willing to visit those exact same things upon their enemy. Your word carries no weight. The only way that those cycles are broken is to end this constant never-ending feeding of, I need to get vengeance on this person. I need to avenge this person. I need to do this or that and to visit violence upon my enemy. It's never going to end. Especially when people like this idiot are just always propagating it nonstop.
Yeah, it was crazy. He also talked about he's on that post about going after Kent.
Yeah, but he's just a keyboard warrior. That's the worst part is that, you know what? I'm not saying that they're good people, but I do have a measure of respect for warhawks who actually put a flak jacket on and get a gun in their hands and actually step out onto the battlefield and put their money where their mouth is. I can at least respect that position on a certain level because, like I said, you're proving that you believe in the position that you're propagating. But this guy's never done that once. This guy's never fought in a war. This guy's never been shot at or shot at people.
He said that nanobots were put in his body. What if he puts some of those nanobots onto Kent? He takes control of Kent.
Skylar's went into detail about how he would kill me a couple times. I know, Missing Mod, but you need to stop, don't lose any sleep over that, okay? I've seen your messages to Mark. You're legitimately worried that he's going to come and murder you, and he's not. It's just not going to happen. I'm sorry, but I know that he's unhinged, and I know that he's insane, but you know what he is more than anything else? A fucking layabout.
And I don't think he knows where she lives.
More than anything else, Skylar is a lazy POS, and Mark can tell you that from experience.
He looks a lot like that guy
Covenant. State motto and covenant, democratically voted in, is kill all Jews and eradicate Israel.
I think he's talking about
until
Hamas.
Not one Jew is left on earth and Israel no longer exists.
Right.
But
They've never said that they just want their land given back to them that was wrongfully colonized and seized.
What is this mental retardation? I do not understand.
I don't know, Skylar. You tell me.
You have something to say?
Please.
Say it. I
was just saying, you tell me, dude. He's talking about mental retardation. What is this? You tell me, man, because you're the only one that's propagating it right now. Go ahead, Mark.
Right, yeah. So, Skylar is completely obsessed with the idea that the establishment of the modern Jewish state, nation state of Israel is congruent with the biblical kingdom of Judea or Israel's, existence back in the ancient times. It's not. After the destruction of Jerusalem in 70 AD by Roman armies, the Jews have not had a true theocracy theocratical state in the sense that they had in the biblical times. What they have now is an Islamic mosque on their Temple Mount, and half of the city belongs to Palestinians, as a matter of fact. And it is not in any way, shape, or form, sorry for sounding like Skylar in saying this, but it is not the same thing. It is not the biblical Israel. It is not Judea and Samaria. It is the West Bank, Israel, and Gaza. And then it's not the same. It's just not. The city of Jerusalem is no longer God's city, geographically or otherwise. It's simply not. There's a new Jerusalem that has come down, and those who believe in the Messiah, who is Jesus Christ, by the definition of the ancient prophecies, he said he did not come to destroy the law or the prophets, but to fulfill, and he did. And Schuyler believes that this Israel that exists today is somehow the biblical Israel, even though there's no evidence of that whatsoever. He's so fixated on this idea.
No, nobody's laughing at you, Missy Ma, because you were worried. We were laughing at you earlier because you were because you were acting ridiculous as far as the way that you oscillate about Mark. That had nothing to do with Skylar whatsoever. We weren't laughing about that. I'm laughing about how you constantly oscillate with Mark all the time and can never get over him at all. That's what I was laughing about. Wasn't laughing about what it had to do with Skylar, okay? So please try not to read into it as much as you are. Just give it a shot.
Were we talking about Missing Mod, or were we talking about Skylar? How is this? How does this keep going back?
We're oscillating between the two of them. It's okay, Mark.
Well,
it's okay.
Just don't give her the attention. She'll either join or go away.
Oh, it's fun though.
Now you look at Russia. Look at the war in Ukraine. Per the dissolution of the USSR in 1991.
Oh, just for a little bit of context, after leaving the state of Washington, where Skylar has been for the past couple of years, he immediately traveled across the country and ended up in Washington, D.C. at the Russian visa embassy, something or another, tried to get asylum in Russia. He was considering asylum in Iran, but he then thought that was a terrible idea, which I would agree. But
yeah, I
he
tend
can't
to
get
agree as
asylum
well.
in Israel. He can't get asylum in Russia, so he goes to DAL, and that's where he is now in this video. Well, he's only 6 miles from DAL, less than 6 miles from DAL.
The dissolution of the USSR, it was agreed by all countries, and United Nations agreed. America and NATO allies are not to expand eastward, not one more inch. No eastward expansion, not now, not ever.
Hey, Charles.
That was in 1991. Now we're up to 16 times the United States has expanded eastward, and Ukraine was already a planned expansion. That America, very literally, I could prove this to you every which way, shape, and form. I just don't know if you'd get in trouble for that. But anyways, America started the war, very literally, to expand eastward into Russia.
So, the fact that Russian troops amassed along the Ukrainian border and then crossed said border in a, what was it called? A military operation, whatever. I don't know. I forget what they call it. But special military operation. That's right. Because that's what, The Art of Special Military Operation by Sun Tzu is about. Anyway, so that's America's fault because Russian troops crossed a sovereign border. That's America's starting a war. Sure, Skylar. Sure. Great logic you got there, you douche.
Not just expand eastward, but expand literally frickin' into Russia. I mean, they've already had biological...
By way of Russia expanding into Ukraine. Makes sense.
Chemical warfare laboratories there. American, and they call them pharmaceutical laboratories by way of paper. What they even come out with is not pharmaceutical or medical in any way, shape, or form, but whatever. So,
good argument, but whatever. What a definitive proof you got there. What is the beeping? Who's ringing?
Oh.
Oh. Okay. I guess it was Logan.
Either which way.
Hey, Robin.
What is the deal, man? I mean, Israel, you know I don't like talking bad about Israel.
Which he is going to do pretty much for the entirety of the rest of this video. Talk bad about Israel.
Israel ain't godly, bud. Israel is my home, but Israel ain't godly. I mean, no frickin' way will I ever defend Palestine in any way, shape, or form at all. But not with their state covenant being kill all Jews on earth and eradicate Israel until
Aiden.
Yes, I'm
Well,
here.
I guess okay.
No,
so
I'm here.
Skylar made a statement there saying that the state covenant of Palestine is to kill every Jew on earth. Is that true? I haven't looked into this. Perhaps you have. I don't know.
The state of Palestine. Sorry, go ahead. I just was talking with somebody from the city. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. Well, we can go back to what he was saying.
no frickin' way will I ever defend Palestine in any way, shape, or form at all. But not with their state covenant being kill all Jews on earth and eradicate Israel until Israel no longer exists and not one Jew is left on
No,
earth.
it's not the covenant
Yeah,
of. First of all, states don't have covenants.
Right.
It's not like something that typically is done with countries, because nation states are different than groups of people. Believe it or not, they are in fact two separate things. But
I'm pretty sure
yeah,
that the Palestinian movement, at least, has a motto, which is "From the river to the sea," which I guess, by way of extreme extrapolations, you could say that means to kill every Jew on earth. No.
Yeah, if you wanted to read the most like pro Israel, anti-Palestinian messaging from that as possible, then sure. But Netanyahu has made that exact same statement himself, so I don't see how it could be used as, anti-Semitic or anti-Israel.
Yeah.
That's 2006. That's been their state covenant since 2006, democratically voted in. So I will not defend Palestine, but at the same time, Israel is not godly. And you, Americans, have done that.
But he wasn't going to say anything bad about Israel, because he hates saying bad things about Israel. But Israel isn't godly. And I'm curious as to why he thinks that America did that, That's...
You, Americans, not you, Doc.
Oh, it wasn't Doc. It wasn't Doc, which is Kent Hovind's nickname among Hovindites. I used to call him that. But it wasn't Doc. It was America. Because Doc is not an American because he, denounced his American citizenship in favor of the sovereign man doctrine. But, he still draws Social Security because he's a hypocrite. But anyway, not you, Doc. It's not your fault, Doc. It's America's fault.
Obviously, I'm saying Americans have done that.
I didn't do that. And I'm an American.
To Israel. Very literally.
Isn't it fascinating how he's just so intellectually dishonestly switches from categorizing individuals within a country when he needs to versus categorizing everybody doing the exact. Everybody's just a hive mind in Palestine when he needs them to be.
Yeah.
Everyone's just this unthinking drone that feels the exact same as the drone to the left or right of them, whereas Israel's just full of, there's some radicals in Israel, but, there's a lot of people who just want nothing but peace and love, man. Give me a break.
Well, they're ungodly, and it's America's fault.
No, of course, it's America's fault, even though they are the ones that are responsible for keeping their covenant. It's not their fault that they broke their covenant. It's America's fault. Just like it's not, it's not the Jews' fault that the temple got sacked. It's the Romans, because the Romans did it, even though Jesus explicitly made it clear that it was because of, their faults and responsibility that the Romans were there in the first place. But never mind all of that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's just this classic idea.
Don't worry
it's
about like actual history of world events and stuff. Let's just make up this whole new thing since 1948 that this is the biblical Israel. And I mean, if you really want to go there, you have to inherit the sins of your fathers, which is pretty tough, man. That's a bad one.
Yeah, I would definitely say so.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, this is the guy that admits himself that he's not a good Jew in terms of keeping Jewish covenant and keeping Jewish traditions. So the fact that he tries to take such a hard line stance,
extremely religious, he is.
He's a walking contradiction.
A very short one at that.
Yeah. By any means, Tel Aviv is worse, as a matter of fact, than Sodom and Gomorrah today.
Tel Aviv is worse than Sodom and Gomorrah.
I'm pretty sure that literally every single man, woman, and child in Sodom wanted to rape the angels. Like, it's explicitly stated in the book that everybody was there to get some angel booty. And I'm sure there's some bad stuff going on in Tel Aviv, but you really mean to tell me that it's worse than that?
I think, and I'd be willing to put money on it that I could walk through Tel Aviv without anybody touching my butt.
Yeah. No, I'm sure you could. Even if you dress like an angel.
I'm not even an angel. I mean, yeah, I could like dress like a fairy even.
Yeah. You probably would not get assaulted.
Probably not.
Yeah, because Mark, he can put them apart with his bare hands.
Because when you assault people sexually or otherwise, it's called a crime.
Yeah, there tends to be consequences.
That kind of stuff, unlike Sodom and Gomorrah, when the entire city was like, hell yeah, let's rape us some angels. Yeah, totally the same thing and worse. Because they have law and order and everything.
And the worst part is that this guy knows the story of Sodom and Gomorrah. He knows that this statement isn't true.
He does. I don't think he does, honestly. He explicitly says that he is an Ezekiel 38th, which I would assume that he doesn't read any other scripture because of the fact that he says he doesn't at all read, Proverbs and Psalms, which, I mean, good grief. Who doesn't read Proverbs and Psalms? Even atheists will read Proverbs and Psalms because they're poetically brilliant. They're beautiful passages, whether you believe in the divine inspiration of them or not. Beautiful ancient poetry. But regardless of that, he explicitly says that he doesn't read parts of the Bible. So why would I expect him to have read this story about Sodom and Gomorrah? No. I just don't believe it. I mean, the guy pontificates with all this, I have all this proof and evidence and everything, and I've done this, and I graduated from seminary, and I studied Hinduism with monks and this, that, and the other. And it's like, no, you didn't. You're lying.
Yeah, you're just trying to
literally not figuratively
state it. Yes. Well, literally? I think that's why he has his quite literally. I think that's why he has his very literally tick, honestly.
Yeah.
Because he's trying to impose, like, if I tell you with enough confidence about this, then you're just going to have to believe that it's true. And that's not how it works.
Not figuratively, literally. By way of being literal and not figurative.
Oh, man.
Boom! What? Checkmate.
Why'd you kick this guy out, Mark? He's so brilliant. Why'd you kick him out?
Because he charged at me when I was sitting at my desk in my bedroom like a stark raving lunatic wanting war, jabbing me in the chest with his fingers with his veins popping out of his forehead. And I didn't appreciate that, so I picked him up and threw him across my house like 4 times until he was out of my house. And then he still wouldn't leave my property, so I called the police and had him trespassed. And then after that happened, he was threatening to have Mexican cartels make sure that I never see my daughter again. So I put a order of protection against him, which is funny because he can't even respond to this stuff without violating that order. So I'm kind of a dick and even talking about this stuff online, but so what? I've been called
Yeah.
worse.
Have you
Called
been
worse
called,
things by better people.
Exactly.
Mark the Stone?
Mark the Stone? That sounds like his wrestler name.
Stone Cold Mark Stoney.
Mark the Stone coming out here. That's right. He smoked 28 ounces of weed before coming out here. Mark the Stone.
February
Just getting wheeled out in a
27th,
wheelchair.
2024. Welcome to Winter Slam.
Mark, one of these
Tony
days,
Paul.
me and you are going to find out if you can, in fact, overdose on cannabis. Me and you. We're going to do it. We're going to see.
Oh boy. Oh boy. Exciting. Oh, but wait, Skylar's not a pothead, and I seem to
No, he's
remember. I seem to remember a challenge between you and Skylar of who could outsmoke the other, and he was pretty confident that he would win.
Was
I
that
think that
Dustin?
might have been.
No.
I think that was Dustin.
Skylar. Well, I'm sure
Was
Dustin
it?
was too, but Skylar also.
Oh, right. No, I had two
28
separate smoke-off challenges. You're right. I was thinking
Yeah,
of
and
just Dustin's.
Right, and that challenge came from Skylar to you, if I remember correctly.
I think you're right.
But he's not a pothead; he's a one-hitter quitter.
No, he could smoke me under the table anytime, but he never smokes.
Yeah,
Never complain.
Yeah,
never
never-
complain.
never-
Never complain.
never complain, never smoke, never complain, never drink except for when I drink red wine. I never drink except for when I drink cough syrup.
Oh,
Yes,
that's rough.
Tel Aviv is just drinking and drugging and partying and, well, of course,
Unlike
you got
you.
the really
Oh, he said the exact same thing about Key West, Florida. It's nothing but drinking and drugging and partying. He says
Sounds like a good time.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's saying the exact same thing, verbatim, literally, not figuratively, over and over and over. Sorry, I gotta stop that.
You're slowly turning into him.
Well, all right, hear me out. There were 22 hours of Proverbs Guy live shows where Skylar appeared that I had to condense down into a much more, or not more palatable, but more digestible format in under an hour. So I've heard enough of his shit. Not to mention, he would ramble this stuff to me in person as well.
Well, yeah, no,
But,
you're
no.
well practiced. If there's a skylologist out there, you're definitely the one.
Oh boy, let's just hope he doesn't get to manatee level internet.
Oh man. I mean, if he does, you get to be the guy though. Like you get to be the Skylar guy.
Oh my. He only gets like 6 views on his videos.
I mean, most lolcows do. That's how it works. They get barely any views.
Sure,
the guy that covers them gets like 30,000 views.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure the 6 views that he gets are me and the 5 people that I shared it with.
Yeah. I've been so tempted so many times to comment on his Facebook. Like, I think he said on one of his posts.
Don't break the trend. Nobody likes, nobody comments, nobody shares.
I haven't.
Rule of the Skylar Shannon Facebook profile page. You can go down, way down his page. No comments, no likes,
no
nothing.
If there was audio for the Skylar O'Shannon Facebook page, it's just.
Oh
man!
In this video
today. It is. Tel Aviv is just drinking and drugging and partying, and, well, of course, you got the really cool Mossad headquarters with nostalgic purposes. It's really cool Mossad headquarters and
nostalgic
King Solomon Boulevard. You can't get no cooler.
No cooler.
I'm so nostalgia over Mossad.
But I myself, and you know me, I'm more than beyond
that Mossad attack. That was the best. I remember when a Mossad only cost a nickel.
Have Steve Huff build a giant, I don't know, nuclear fallout shelter or something similar, whatever. And just look up who Steve Huff is and look up Pensmore Project.
Is he just putting words into a random word generator and just speaking them?
Have Steve.
No, but according to Skylar, he has a photographic memory. No CD. And oh my goodness, I've got a text that I have to share with you, but I have to find it first because it's quite a while ago, and it'll kind of explain what's going on with Skylar in his very Hollywood-esque burned spy persona here, and it'll explain it when I find it. You'll see.
Huff just build this massive like shelter over the Mossad headquarters, and I'd like to fire some rockets at Tel Aviv myself. You know,
What?
and that's me.
I found it.
But I thought you were nostalgic for it, Skylar.
Doc, China's not godly. I ain't gonna say China's godly in any way, shape, or form. But let me tell you about Russia. Well, you think Russia might not be godly. They are.
All right, Aiden, I sent it to you so that I could share it on the stream. So I could easily.
Oh, I'm on my phone.
Up. Oh, nice. So you see it too. But I'm gonna blow this up and try to share it. We'll go back to the video. Give me a second. Here it is. Okay. You guys see that?
Yeah.
All right. So this is kind of where Skylar gets all of his fantastical claims from. So I'm pretty sure it's from movies, and this is why I think that. So on December 15th at 2022, and this is at 6:40 a.m., 6:41 a.m. So this is early in the morning. I'm probably not up yet. So holy effing shit, dude! I'm only 17 minutes in, but this new Tommy Lee Jones movie titled Wander just started. Opening introduction with a real ducking life, very top secret CIA technology. I'm watching this shiz. I'm not joking. There's one of these ducking things in me. I'm totally watching this shiz. Movie or not, it might clue me in on something. I don't know a darn damn thing about this ducking thing other than it'll kill me if they want. Lamau. At least in the intro of the movie, it's not CIA. It's just police and a private company.
You know how I know?
Well,
you know
a
how
specific police agency, Town. Technology, the same or not. This movie is totally not, absolutely not the same thing. This movie is a snuff film, kind of. And then I was like, I got my flight because I was flying back to Walla Walla at that time. But yeah, that's okay. Okay.
You know, I found out that Skylar was lying through a very simple series of questions. He was telling me one day about his secret agent stuff and about his time in the CIA and stuff.
Man.
And you know, for the first few questions, he actually got it
Logan,
right.
Logan's been trying to squeeze something in here. For
okay. Sorry, Gangster Ghost.
Hold that thought.
Two things. That reminded me a bit of that movie Jason X, where Jason was rebuilt by the nanotechnology.
Yeah.
So what happened to Skylar? They destroyed him, and then the nanos.
Why do you?
What?
Every time you bring up Jason X, you bring me pain, Gangster Ghost. You really do. You just bring me a little bit of pain.
Well,
they
supposedly, allegedly, figuratively, not literally. Skylar is the $1 million man and the reason he can't leave the United States of America, according to Skylar, is that he has nanobot technology that the CIA put in him that can kill him at any time. And not only that, they use this nanobot technology to remove one of his testicles. As a Nazi doctor,
the question that I
Hebrew slave adopted by a German Nazi. Because that's his story. I'm not making this up.
Good question. Wait. I wanted to say something earlier before I forget.
Go ahead.
So Skylar was telling me a story about the time that he was in the CIA. So I asked him, having the very limited knowledge that I do about the CIA's armaments and equipment, which is not a lot, what gun did you use while you were in the CIA? And he said, I mainly used two guns. I used a pistol and I used an SMG. And I said, okay, what SMG did you use? And he said the MP9. And I said, oh, okay, well, that does seem to line up, considering it's basically Secret Service and CIA that are the only people in America that have access to the MP9 at all. So I asked him, I was like, oh, sweet. Which one did you have, the MP9 or the MP9N? And he said, oh, it was the MP9N. And I was like, oh, sweet. What was the fire rate on that thing? And he could not come up with an answer to save his life. He's like, oh, man, I forget. You could not forget the fire rate of an MP9N. The MP9N shoots 1,200 bullets a minute. All right? The thing is ridiculous. It's like a mini A10 Warthog that you've just got with you. And I asked him, I was like, oh, okay, that's no problem. What cartridge did you use for it? And he was like, oh, I think it was 45. No, the MP9 has never shot 45. It's always shot 9mm. It's in the name, Skylar. MP9, 9mm.
I mean, a UMP 45 does shoot 45 millimeters.
What's that?
A UMP 45 shoots.
Oh yeah, an UMP will definitely shoot 45. I love the UMP. It's a fantastic gun, but it's not an MP9.
Oh, one more thing.
I was a in the infantry. Would you like to question me on the 240 Bravo?
Oh, did you fire the UMP 45?
No, 240 Bravo.
Oh, 240 Bravo, sorry. I was going to say, I thought the UMP was mainly a European.
Oh, no. I was
SMG.
Bravo, which replaced the M60, which was
the machine gun,
which had a much higher cyclical rate of fire than the 240 Bravo, which was about 600 to 650 rounds per minute.
You also had a belt-fed grenade launcher, didn't you?
Well, I definitely trained on the Mark 19 40mm fully automatic grenade launcher, but I did not get to use it in country and theater because there were like problems with collateral damage or something. I don't know.
Oh, civilian casualties.
We still got to carry our M68 under barrel grenade launchers that shot the exact same round, and we did shoot them
on your M4
desert. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's fantastic. They've got a round for that. I know that basically the only other proprietary underbarrel grenade launchers are for Russian AKs, and theirs are made for more.
Actually,
oh sorry.
Hayden, it is not necessarily an underbarrel. It actually attaches to the barrel on the AK. It uses an actual round to fire.
You're right. It's integrated. It's integrated into the barrel. You're right. It is underneath the main barrel, Mark. So shut up.
Well, but it uses the action of the rifle itself to fire. It doesn't have an independent firing system from the actual.
It's rifle. Underneath the barrel, Mark.
No, it doesn't. It attaches to the end of the barrel. What are you talking about?
There's a different one then that we're talking about then, because there's an underbarrel for the AK. I know this for a fact.
Yeah, you play a lot of Tarkov. I know. I'll succumb to you on the knowledge of the underslung grenade launcher on an AK.
Well, Mark,
they don't have an attachable one. I do wish that they had an attachable one, but no, they have an underbarrel. And I like the American one way more because you can shoot it even at close range, and it'll basically instantly detonate as soon as it hits something, whereas the Russian one has a fuse.
Oh.
Well, the American one also has to have a certain number of twists, rotations before the projectile is armed and will detonate. So
I thought it was impact.
At your feet. No, you can't shoot it at your feet. It has. Well, it is impact, but you can't shoot it at your feet and expect it to go off because it has to rotate in flight a certain number of times, which I think is like 60 before it'll actually be armed for impact.
Oh, Mark.
Yes.
I have one more thing. You ever seen this movie? It was directed by the guy who did Exorcist, called Bug.
No, but I believe I might have made a mistake when I called the M203, which is the actual the 40mm underbarrel grenade launcher for the M16. It is the M203, not the M68. I don't remember what an M68 is.
But Mark, that guy said he was like the government's controlling him or something, putting bugs in him to control him. That sounds like Skylar. What if it's based on him?
Did you get? Right. Were you trained on the
M68 is an American 105mm tank gun. I kind of remember.
Serious?
Stuff. Yeah.
Were you trained on the F1 grenade? Or what grenade were you trained on?
Oh, we only threw like the little ball gosh, what I don't remember which one they are. The little.
It's not the
handheld
pineapple
that
one,
they
then,
make.
yeah.
No. That's World War II tech or Vietnam tech.
No, I could have swore they still use them in some applications in urban warfare because they have a really, really good spread. They spread a lot more evenly than some.
Well, the M67 is what we use. It's just like basically a baseball size. They've all been about the baseball size because baseball is America's, favorite pastime. Whatever. A lot of young men played baseball. I played baseball, so they made the
They tried
grenade
conforming
size.
it to be the size and weight of a baseball. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
But Mark, can I ask you something?
No.
Oh.
Yes.
Mark?
You know what, Aiden? You better behave yourself, or I'll do this.
You know what, Mark? I will not stop until you.
Go ahead, Logan. Go ahead, gangster.
What do you think of that?
Logan.
There's a called Bug. That reminds me of Skylar.
Yeah, because he has ladybugs. That's what he calls his nanobots. The CIA allegedly, supposedly, figuratively, not literally.
That's what I call schizophrenia.
Walter Mitty syndrome.
Oddly. It's the weirdest thing. Mr. President Vladimir Putin said, and Americans don't watch this, I don't understand. But he was talking about...
I do kind of keep an eye on what Putin, what Skylar affectionately, or who Skylar affectionately refers to as Mr. President Vladimir Putin. I do kind of keep an eye on what he says. Most recently, he said he was moving troops to Sweden and Finland's borders and also threatening nuclear war if NATO got involved. And that was like yesterday. So I kind of keep an eye on what the guy says, and I think he's a little unhinged.
Yeah, Putin basically, when he needs to threaten nukes, he basically does the equivalent of like when you're on a train and you think somebody's getting a little too close to you, so you kind of like flash the handle of your gun just to like let them know that you got that. That's basically what he does, and that's not exactly conducive to statesman-like behavior.
Well, the thing is, we have bigger guns and better guns.
Oh yeah, for sure. It's a zero-sum game, though. It really is. No matter what happens, billions of people are going to die.
Enough. That's unfortunate, but whoever wants to have the biggest balls and move first is going to be fully responsible for that. And I don't see that being the United States of America. Because, we don't start wars that way. We end them. And
I mean, you guys almost accidentally nuked yourselves once. You ever heard about that one nuclear bomber that was flying over North Carolina that accidentally dropped? It was literally the only thing that stopped it was one of the trigger switches was faulty on the device. That's the only thing that prevented a multi-megaton bomb from just detonating in the middle of America.
Yikes.
That would have been a little bit of a black mark on their history.
There's been plenty of nuclear bombs detonate in the middle of America,
I mean, populated America, though.
Arizona Proving Grounds.
Yeah, not in the middle of the desert kind of thing.
Right. Yeah.
I'm sure it'd be a tourist site today, though.
To his own.
It is. In fact, you can go to like the Trinity site, and you can't stay for long because it's still radioactive, but you can indeed visit it. There's like pictures of tourists on the internet and stuff.
That's what, I'm just uneducated on this. I'm sure there's a very simple explanation for this, but I've always wondered, like, how the hell are there like obviously they're bigger bombs, but the Trinity one, you make a good point. They can't stay too long due to the radiation. How the hell are there people living in Hiroshima and Nagasaki right now and they're just like fine?
They're not just fine.
I mean, like, they're not fine in terms of like. But, I don't think that their cancer rates are really all that egregious, though, given the fact that a nuke was dropped there less than 100 years ago.
The proving grounds in the United States were bombed over and 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 over. Literally, not figuratively. Skylar. lots of times. So there's a lot more radiation, like residual radiation in the soil and the surrounding areas than there is in Hiroshima, which only suffered one. And I say only one, which one is way more than ever should have happened. But, they also thoroughly cleansed that soil. They removed every bit of debris that was radioactive. It's not like they did that in Arizona where, that would take way, way, way much more effort to do just by way of there being so many more explosions tested there. Here's the proving ground. So, yeah, nasty stuff. But they did certainly did that not filter, but remove the contaminated material from places like Hiroshima and Nagasaki. That's how they were able
Be
to
right back.
rebuild. Yeah, and I'm gonna just play Skyler for a bit.
People, he was talking about how the West, not just America, but the West, with all this homosexuality and transsexuality and everything, the West is Israel even. Israel is shunning Jews. Israel, the state of the Jews, is shunning Jews. And
No, they're not.
Providing sanctuary, having an ingathering instead of a friggin' ingathering of Jews for messianic purposes, an ingathering of homosexuals and transsexuals.
Also false.
And shunning Jews. Israel is not godly right now. And that's coming from me, Doc. It's coming from me.
Stop!
Doc,
What?
I really want to go home to Israel more than anything.
What was that, Aiden?
I will not stop!
Okay, we'll play that next. Play that next.
I do, but I really want to go home and just die and be buried.
Wow, what a content man. This guy's got life figured out.
It's coming from me, Doc. My own people are fucking worse.
Part of me feels bad at excoriating a man who's breaking down here, but I wouldn't do this if I thought he was being genuine.
No.
Like, I wouldn't have it within me to do that.
No longer exists! Bullshit. I fucking hate that motherfucker more than you can ever believe.
I will not stop!
I fucking will not stop! Personal hatred. Personal hatred. Holy shit. I will not stop! What? I will not stop until Israel no longer exists! Bullshit. I fucking hate that motherfucker more than you can ever really comprehend. I said it. I will not stop! That motherfucker that's on me. I fucking will not stop! Personal hatred. Personal hatred. Holy shit, I hate that dude. I will not stop! 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 I will not stop until Israel no longer exists! Bullshit. I fucking hate that motherfucker more than you can ever really comprehend. Specifically, personally, I hate that motherfucker. That's not real. I fucking... I will not stop until Israel no longer exists! Bullshit. I fucking hate that motherfucker more than you can ever really comprehend. Specifically, personally, I hate that motherfucker. I fucking hate that dude. Personal hatred. Personal hatred.
Personal hatred. Personal hatred.
I will not stop! I will not stop! I will not stop until Israel no longer exists! I will not stop! I hate that motherfucker more than you can ever really comprehend. Specifically, personally, I hate that motherfucker. That's not really one of me. I fucking hate that. Personal hatred. Personal hatred. I will not stop! Holy shit, I hate that. What? I will not stop until Israel no longer exists! I will not stop! I hate that motherfucker more than you can ever really comprehend. Specifically, personally, I hate that motherfucker. That's not really one of me. I fucking hate that dude. Personal hatred. Personal hatred. Holy shit, I hate that dude. What? I will not stop! God hates you.
Good grief. Good grief. Aiden. Yes, backstage. What? What happened to Aiden? Aiden's been like tripping out back and forth. I'm gonna remove. Yes. And come back in as Aiden. There we go.
There it is.
There we go. There you
Personal hatred. Personal hatred. It's like, oh, thank you so much for clarifying that. I thought that you hated the concept of Rwani, not the person. Thank you very much for clarifying that, Skylar.
Yeah. So, how many people like in this community has Skylar threatened to kill? Like actual plans, like I'll put a 38 size hole through their head.
Me, you. I think Gangster Ghost is one of the few people that he has not threatened. Me. I thought he threatened to kill you at one point. I don't think he's threatened
to kill me either. Well, when he came in my room, he was very threatening, and the way he was gesturing, he never said "I'm going to kill you," but he was like doing the slit your throat kind of thing.
Yeah, he's definitely indicating it.
Well, yeah, and you hear his description on the Proverbs Guy show, and I left this out of my video, but he said, yeah, when I was approaching Mark, like, I wanted war. Like, I was war. I'm like, dude, and you're going to say you weren't threatening me? That was your own description of it. And, yeah I felt very threatened. I had guns in my house that I didn't want him to access in that state. So I told him to leave. He said no, so I made him leave. And then I told him to get off my property. He again.
What was the reaction to that whole situation?
And told them I need to trespass. What do you mean? The whole reaction
story, like when he told Proverbs Guy like this whole line of crap about everything. What was his reaction to all of this? Is what I'm curious about. Was he at all like sympathetic towards you, or?
No, he was lying. He said
no. I mean,
police and said he kidnapped my daughter.
No, I'm saying Steven. I'm saying Proverbs Guy's reaction to what he was saying, not Skylar's. I know Skylar was lying.
Oh, they just let him say whatever he wanted to say. The only thing they contended with him about was over doctrinal stuff.
Of course. I was about to say, they also didn't say a single thing against all of his crap about trans stuff as well, didn't they? Didn't say a single thing against any of that.
No,
like, not a surprise.
Yeah, he threatened Rosie.
He did threaten Rosie.
Yeah, I think he might have been one of the earliest persons. He threatened Brother Pike's friend, said he wanted to kill him.
Oh, Joe, yeah. Or not Joe, what's his name? Is it Joe? I don't know.
I'm not sure who else.
I'm not caught up with the Christian Pike lore, unfortunately. Do you think Christian lore is related to Adam lore, Gangster Ghost?
Ooh. Good morning, afternoon, Deviant Outcast. Good to see you.
Good evening.
How are you today?
Oh, yes, and a good morning.
Extremely tired.
I need to step away for just a minute. I'll be back.
And I actually, I thought about Christian when I was at the store, because there was a guy who had it, but he had shorts on, but he had like short shorts on. And I wanted to take a picture, but I didn't really feel I could do that. But it would have been funny.
Short shorts.
That says,
we wear shorts.
Exactly. It looked really weird. I mean, it's like 2 degrees Celsius here. And
how do you feel? How do you feel, Deviant, knowing that Finland is a superior country to yours in every way?
I know that that's not true, so it doesn't bother me.
Right. I remember that really iconic winter war between. I remember that really iconic winter war between the Soviet Union.
Oh my goodness! I can't hear anything.
I was just talking about that really famous winter war between the Soviet and Sweden.
Mhm.
Hey, Hat.
Oh wait, it wasn't Sweden.
Okay,
Wait, no,
so
it was Finland. Oh, it
Just
was
Okay, so
Finland.
Finland
Just
is
because that
superior because
Finland,
they are neighbors directly sharing a border with Russia or Soviet Union.
look,
How does that
just because
I mean, how does that compute at all?
just
Look,
because that one
That's just bad
soldier
logic, Aiden.
took a
That's
month's
really
worth
bad.
of Pervitin and eluded Nazis for like weeks and survived in the frigid temperatures, I'd say they're pretty badass. Just putting
yeah,
that out there.
yeah.
Well, we didn't even
No, I
need to
just,
do
I,
that
I
before.
remember Sweden
Also,
just really bravely
we
stood
have owned
against Nazi
Finland
tyranny.
for hundreds of years. We owned
Really,
Finland for
really
hundreds of years.
bravely stood against
We
Nazi
owned
tyranny and
Finland.
didn't cooperate
You-
with the
Right.
Nazis whatsoever.
Let's
No, I actually.
pause real quick. Everybody pause. Let's try to make an effort not to speak over each other, okay? I
Okay.
apologize for me doing that too. So
That's all
let's
right.
try.
I mean, they weren't like
Thank
Denmark.
you.
They didn't get conquered in 6 hours. They didn't get conquered at all because they were such an afterthought.
Finland, yeah.
All right. I just want to say this. If I was wrong for airing my grievances with Skyliar O'Crian or whatever his name is, go ahead and crucify me. You know, cancel me, throw me to the wolves. I don't care. The dude threatened to kidnap my daughter by way of a Mexican cartel. He's threatened to kill Kent Hovind, which I actually warned Kent that was his intention. Believe it or not, because I don't want the guy to die. But he's spreading all this misinformation, disinformation, and flat out lies. All right. Look, I've got a court hearing with this dude tomorrow because of the things he said about me and towards me and all this. Like, I'm sorry if it's wrong of me to air my grievances, but I'm really not. Go ahead, do what you want. Spit in my face, I don't care. But anywho, good morning.
Good morning.
Yeah,
Miss
good
Al-
morning, I guess.
What do you do if he goes to Sweden?
Goes to Sweden?
Skylar, what if he goes there? What would you
Oh,
do?
he
Well,
won't.
okay. So, well, you say that, Deviant, but it's not entirely possible or impossible because Skylar was actually applying for a Russian visa
Mhm.
in DC earlier this week, and he absolutely 100% idolizes Vladimir Putin.
Yeah,
but I and the
no,
fact that
note the
Sweden
word.
and Finland are now
Sweden
in
is
NATO.
not Russia. Exactly.
Right, I know, but now hear me out. There's things that are happening in the real world that could hypothetically end up with Skylar being in Sweden because Putin is actually stationing more troops on his borders with Finland and Sweden because of
Oh,
their
yes, I'm
entrance
well,
into NATO.
I'm well
And
aware
I'm
because
pissed off
Putin
about
is a
that.
fucking dickhead. And he
Yes,
can
I don't
take
like
his
that. It makes me very upset. But Skylar is trying to go to Russia, and if Skylar goes to Russia, he wants to die. So it wouldn't
Threw a temper tantrum and left
it wouldn't surprise me if he ended up.
to go to Finland.
He
Say
wants to go
what?
to Iran. I wish he would just go to Iran.
Well, he will have problems in Russia. And I
He would
mean,
have problems anywhere he goes.
well,
All right, I need to take
not
a
in
10-minute
one
break. I'll be back.
not in one place, but I won't say where. He would have eventually. It would be fine, at first, but not very long. Because you can't hate on people. That doesn't work.
Sure you can. What are you talking about? I've been hating on you Swedes for centuries now.
Of course, because they cannot beat us.
You
you're
said earlier, Deviant, that Sweden is not part of Russia. It is not part of Russia yet.
Oh, well, we will see.
I just remember like the iconic northern lights of Swedish Lapland. You know, they're so. Oh wait, no, that's not Swedish Lapland, is it? No, that's Finnish. It's Finnish Lapland,
Yeah.
isn't it?
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
man, got
But
them
we
again.
have them too, you know.
Yeah,
You know?
yeah. I'm sure you do.
Yeah.
Sure you do.
So,
Sure you do.
so you know, there is nothing wrong with
I just
Finland.
can't wait to take a trip to the Swedish
I mean-
Kola Peninsula, you know, well-known Swedish land. Oh, wait, no, wait. It used to be part of Sweden, but it's not anymore. Oh, right. Yeah, sorry.
Of course not.
Sorry. My bad.
Like the rest of
This
Finland.
is really fun.
Like the rest of Finland, we traded them for Norway. Traded them to Russia for Norway. Or we did a trade that involved Denmark, and we got Norway, and then Russia got part of Finland. So that's kind of shit.
Yeah. Oh, did you know, Deviant, that
So
Mark
I'm not
is
very
a
much of a
full-blown racist? Mark is a
did
neo-Nazi.
not
I don't know
know
if you realize this. No, he is. He is.
Oh.
And I can prove it.
okay,
You know
yeah,
how I can prove it? I'll prove it right now.
Please tell me. I'm very interested.
I don't like Mark because he's a poopy head. Therefore, he's racist.
Okay, yeah, that checks out. I
All right.
think, or maybe it's kind of like your logic earlier that Sweden is a lesser country than Finland because we don't have shared borders with Russia. It's kind of the same logic. Are you feeling well today, Aidan? How's your brain?
I just remember earlier today, and I just remember it was so beautiful. Oh, wait, no, that used to be a part of Sweden, but it's not anymore. Just one of the many things that used to be a part of Sweden, but isn't part of Sweden anymore. My bad. It's just there's so many that it's hard to find actual Swedish land. I mean, you've lost so much.
Yeah, so you don't need. I mean, what you need to understand, Aidan, is that in Sweden, this whole being a patriot and nationalism and all of that, it's not a big thing, and unfortunately, it's becoming a bigger thing.
Right, that died with the Swedish Empire, didn't it?
In the wrong way.
Yeah,
No,
that whole
it died
patriotism thing died with the Swedish
in the
Empire.
1900s.
Your boy King got shot while he was walking around in the field, and ever since he hit the ground, any sort of hope of Sweden being anything in the world fell to the ground with him, unfortunately. Oh, sorry, unfortunately.
Who are you talking about? Who was walking around?
Oh, God, what is his name? I can't remember it.
No,
Your guys is king during the Winter War.
The Winter War.
Yeah, during the Winter War. You guys, Winter War, the Great Northern War. Who was your king during that again? I forget.
Well, I mean, we've had a couple of kings die in battle. One was Gustav Adolphus.
Gustavus Adolphus.
Yeah, he
Gustavus
did not
Adolphus.
walk around. He
That's who it
was
was.
on his horse when he got shot.
Oh, sorry.
The horse
Sorry.
is actually
A really important detail. Really important detail.
Well,
You're right. You're right.
If
Wow, Sweden could afford they could afford one singular horse for their king.
Karl XII was shot in the head because he kind of stuck his head up when he shouldn't have, and they got him. But,
yeah, just some of that Swedish logic on display. I'm quite astonished by the fact that you guys were able to afford a single horse for Gustavus Adolphus at that point. It just goes to show how much more powerful you guys were. I mean, you had access to a horse at that point in time. What do you have now? I mean,
believe
like a
so.
nuclear reactor that doesn't work?
We still have the horse. We still have the horse.
You still have it to this day.
Yes.
Wow, that's
yes.
one old horse.
It's stuffed. It's stuffed. Yes, it's on display in Stockholm in the museum.
So sorry. He was so sorry. Gustavus Adolphus was on 90% of Sweden's GDP when he was shot. I'm sorry. I need to correct myself.
90% of it. I would
Sorry,
say
99. You're right. I'm
equipment
sorry.
might
My
have
mistake.
been worth more than his horse, considering.
Oh, right, like
$2.
the stick
And
that he
I
had,
know there were
and that
other
piece
horses
of
because
cardboard.
there are another one that's also stuffed.
Yeah, he had like one of those Burger King crowns for his head at that point. He wasn't able to afford an actual gold crown. He had one of those like cardboard Burger King crowns for his head.
Was no cardboard. It was wood. It was wood. Old wood.
Well, no, you Swedes. I mean, like, come on. You have IKEA. You guys definitely invented cardboard.
No.
Wow, I tried attributing one thing to you guys, and you were the first to go, no, we did not do that. We did not do anything.
Well, we did, but not that. Not to my knowledge.
They got this outcast. That's
illogically just throwing random shade at Sweden whenever I can disjointedly think of something vaguely offensive to Sweden is so great.
Work.
It's great.
Oh, I know a good thing Sweden had.
No, I know what can really annoy you. I'm talking about the Ptolemies, but I decided to go easy on you.
I appreciate that because it's been a shitty week. So maybe I will jump out the balcony. No, I wouldn't. I should joke about that because it's always an option. I mean, not an option I would do, but
Sweden did that no one else did. They have Miss Outcast.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
that's true.
Luckily, I'm one of a kind.
She makes up 33% of Sweden's population.
I do. Well, 20, around 20%. No less. Even less.
Mark, what hate group are you a part of? Did you go back to Dinosaur Adventureland? I didn't know that you were part of Dinosaur Adventureland again, Mark. You never told me that you were part of that hate group again. Come on, Mark, just admit it. You're back at DAL. Kent's rubbing your shoulders right now. You know what? Maybe he's not on mic right now because he's like on top of the DAL headquarters. He's like balancing on the top while Kent's like holding him like Rose from Titanic. I'm king of the world!
What?
I'm flying, Kent! I'm flying! I had a really good time envisioning. Have you ever seen the Saw movies, Deviant?
No.
I have.
Do you know at least the premise of them?
No.
Okay, so there's like this guy. Never mind. It's not going to be funny. It's not going to be funny if I have to explain the joke. Never mind. You should be.
I think it's bloody and it's called Saw, and there has been like a million of them, I guess.
Yeah, there really has. It really has. There's like 8 Saw movies now, Gangster. You would know Gangster Ghost. You're like the film buff out of our group. There's 10?
Yeah.
There's 10 Saw movies.
Yep.
Did they go to space at one point? Please tell me they went to space. No. That's where all horrible movie franchises go to die. That's where Jason went to go die.
Yeah.
He went to go die in space.
Chucky in space.
Oh God! No, why? Why?
The guy who's like head of the Chuckies, he was talking.
You know what? That'd actually be good. You know, it'd be good in like an alternate timeline where like Neil Armstrong's about to like go from his house to go to Cape Canaveral before like I'm just seeing the trailer in my head right now, right? Like Neil Armstrong, he's getting ready at his house. He's getting his wife and him, how he's going to make human history and, just how great of a thing he's going to do for America. And then she's like, wait, Neil, you forgot your doll. And then it cuts to black. And then you just see the title screen, Chucky in Space. I can see it. I can see it.
Worst ever.
It would be absolutely horrible, but you act like you've never
I'm
been
sure someone
manipulated
could
before.
make it.
No, we could.
Someone
We
could
could.
make
I've heard a lot of people say, actually, Gangster Ghost, that they want Jason X remade, and I think those people should be sent to a camp, personally. But what do you think about that?
I don't know.
That's kind of harsh.
I think they should.
What kind of camp? I mean, like, it could be summer.
No.
It could be the summer camp that all those teenagers go to when Jason kills.
Swimming camp.
Yes.
Yeah.
I know that. I talked to the guy
The Jason X internment camps. What a dark chapter in American history.
I talked to the guy who co-written that movie.
You did?
What?
What?
The guy who co-written Jason X. I saw him on Facebook before.
Oh.
I got his autograph.
Oh,
Very
cool.
cool.
So
Oh, wow.
Yeah, Todd Farmer.
Todd Farmer.
Let's just dox the guy.
So, Mark,
Well, he
No, I'm kidding.
Now
is the
that's
famous
you're back,
guy,
just
okay?
admit that
he's a famous
hate
guy.
the group that you're part of
You can't,
is DAL,
you
because
can't really dox
you've been called
Mark
out as
Twain or
being part of
what's his
the
name,
hate
Tom
group.
Hanks or
So it's gotta be DAL.
Charles Dickens. Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah. I was once a member of the hate group known as DAL.
Shame on you.
Oh, he played Luke Skywalker. Shocking. Wait, why wouldn't I keep what to myself? I need to know. Mark, you told me to ignore. I can't. Okay, I'm
Everyone
sorry.
is manipulating you. That is a fact.
He had to take a shot at me and laugh at my love for you, stupid. Wake up. Oh my god. I'm laughing at it because that is a laughable thing. Okay, I'm sorry, but it just is. It's incredibly amusing to me how you always oscillate between one thing or the other with Mark, and you can never make up your mind and just move on with your life with him. That's amusing to me, and I'm not going to make any bones about that. I'm sorry if that hurts your feelings, but that's just the truth. I find it amusing because you literally just cannot move past it to save your life.
I
And
don't even
he's
know why she's upset with me.
Well, the private text I sent him. I mean, like, you know that
ones
Mark
that
has
deleted?
showed private. You know for a fact that Mark has revealed texts from you in the past, Missing Mod. If you're shocked about it at this point, then I don't really know what to tell you. I mean, you sent those to him. If you sent those in confidence, then I apologize that he betrayed your confidence. But that's really about as much of a gripe as you've got here. Because we're not friends. That's why it's funny to you, Aiden. Duh. Yeah, it is. It's funny to me because not only because you're not friends, but because of how strongly you've come out against him. Every single time that you say that you're done with him, I chuckle because I know it's not true. I chuckle about that the same way that I chuckle about Lupin when he says that he was done with you. I laughed about that. You laughed about that because you knew it wasn't true, Missing Mod. That's why it's funny. Because when somebody makes a statement like that, unironically, with as much gusto and vim and vigor as you or Lupin does, and then just totally go back on it, what else am I supposed to feel but amusement? It's fine. It seems fine. It seems abundantly fine. It's fine. It's done. I'm not shocked. I was hurt because I thought you were my friend. I am your friend! When was I not your friend?
Hey,
Missing
Missing
Mod.
Court is hearing two cases today that
What
could
do you have to
determine
feel
the future of what we see.
What do you have to say about Brett Keane having 666 subscribers?
666, the number of the beast.
And his co-host is Satanist.
Yeah. So this.
I'm still your friend. I mean, if
is
you
a
don't consider
post.
me a friend anymore, I'm sorry, Mud.
These are the people that. Mr.
Oh boy,
Mott
can I read it?
Friends. Yes. These are Missing Mods.
Thank you, Missing Mod, for your support. Hopefully one day you'll join us on the show situation. I also wanted to personally thank Lucifer Legorvian and TTOR for being good friends and co-host. Life has been hell, and not in a good way. Tongue sticking out face.
What?
Oh, you expanded it.
But you guys keep me rocking. Anyone reading this should go sub all these people by clicking their name links. P.S. If you don't have the demon baby, below will get you.
That is a cute
I
baby.
see it. That is a demonic baby. That is a demonic baby
little
right
baby.
there.
The baby's so cute.
No, they always said
it even has
they'd always say Satan would be
fingers.
tempted, wouldn't they?
Those are some freaky looking hands.
That is,
gotta say.
yeah.
And the toes, they're actually fingers.
That was nice of them. I know you can't understand that, Mark. You're a trash Brett Keane is a trash person, Missing Mod, okay? Make no bones about it. If you want to talk about trash people, Brett Keane is the lowest of the low. And the fact that you think genuinely that he's extending some sort of olive branch to you right now displays incredible naivete on your part. Because you've known Brett long enough, Missing Mod. I'm sorry, but you don't have the excuse of ignorance anymore. You just don't. Okay, you're like TTOR at this point to me. You know that Brett's a piece of shit. You know he's a piece of garbage. You know that he would sell his mother's kidney for a buffalo nickel.
Future of what we see in social media. At issue is whether states can limit how
whatever.
companies censor content.
Missing Mod, what do you have to say about this? 666 Brett King Show.
The number of the beast. I said nothing about Brett's intentions. I mean, you should know that Brett's intentions are not good. Because Brett has never had good intentions, ever. I kid you not. Go and try to find me one example of Brett having good intentions and then keeping those good intentions for a year. Find me one. I invite
Missing
you to.
Mod
You
knows
won't.
that I'm a subscriber. That's why it says subscribe and not subscribe.
And Mark is the definition. No, you're just upset, Missing Mod. Like, you're just pissed off, okay? You're pissed off right now, and you're not going to be pissed off, and you're going to try to make his friend later, and then you're going to be pissed off again, and then you're going to try to make his friend... Can we just skip the cycle? Can we just, like, skip forward? Can we just, like, fast forward a few days and get to the part where you like Mark again, Missing Mod? Because it'd be a lot less exhausting that way. It really would. It really would. Can we just fast forward through all this crap?
Unblocking her number, and that's not something I'm willing to do.
You want me to tell him to F off? No, I'm not saying that. Nobody said for you to tell Brett to F off. I'm saying that you should know that his thanks is insincere and that he's a piece of garbage. Like, you know this about Brett. You've known Brett long enough, and you've known enough of his past. I've told you enough of his past, and I have enough evidence for everything that I've said that you really don't have an excuse at this point for being buddy-buddy with Brett. Like, you just don't. He's a piece of garbage, and he will stab you in the back the second that you've done even the slightest thing that could be interpreted as pissing him off. That's just how it is.
Hey, Aiden, why don't you take a look at my Amazon wish list?
Oh, snap. Here we go. Alright, so
yeah.
I got one of those little mini PCs here because I just saw that the price tag was high and I knew I wouldn't have to pay it.
Oh my god, he still has the stand mixer. He still has that. This has legitimately been on his wish list for like 8 years at this point.
Soho Lounge Square dishware set. Very nice. Dorn can serve me the finest mac and cheese in that dish set right there. And I got on top of that, I got a dish. I got a mixer there for all the 80 chocolate cakes she makes me every day. And, you know, the PC honestly isn't enough for the Brettster. You got to get me an Xbox too.
Look,
yeah, originally I just had the Xbox.
Listen, in conjunction with the fact that he has 666 subscribers, the number one thing and most recently added thing on his wish list is 6,000 upside down 66699. So, I mean, there's got to be
it's 18% off
there,
though,
right?
Mark.
Right, that makes it 699.
Hey, Deviant.
Well, those are upside down sixes.
So,
Deviant, you want to pitch in on Brett's PC, right? Because you see there that there's like a 370. Scroll up a little bit.
Let her speak! Let her speak!
Oh, okay.
I would just like to answer Dan Pose's question. What is the definition of mansplaining? Let me read this to you from Merriam-Webster. Mansplained.
Oh yeah, we're gonna be womansplained, mansplaining.
Of a man
You know?
to explain something to a woman. No, I don't, because he asked. So to explain something to a woman in a condescending way that assumes she has no knowledge about the topic. There you go, Dan. That's the definition. I hope you're enlightened.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome.
He also said.
Yes, I did mention.
Pardon me.
You're welcome.
Still gotta get some of this degeneracy out of myself, trying to cast these demons out. What happened to the empathy that humanists live by? Sounds like we better throw them in the water to see if they swim or float. I'm pretty sure you mean sink or swim.
It's a witch! It's a witch!
I mean, first off,
but
empathy is one thing. Calling out someone for being a shitty person when they are a shitty person has nothing to do with a lack of empathy. Also,
you know why I do this? Because I feel empathy for Brett's victims.
Right. Exactly. So
what about all those? What about all the horror? What about all of the people in the internet who gave Brett their trust and trusted him with money or with information or with secrets, and then he just went and totally either embellished and outright lied about those things, or tried to basically just expose and dox this person to as many people as possible in order to try and ruin their life? What about empathy for all those people, Dan? You don't know Brett. You don't know anything about Brett. You literally just found out about Brett like a month or two ago. You know nothing about Brett Keane whatsoever, and you honestly have the gall to come in here and say, well, where's your empathy for Brett? I had plenty of empathy for Brett, and that all vanished over, it got less and less apparent as the Tower of Babel, known as his victim pile, got higher and higher and higher. It's a little bit difficult to have empathy for those people. How much empathy do you have for Adolf Hitler, Dan? You have a crap load of... I'm not saying that Brett's Hitler, but I'm just saying it's an illustrative example of when somebody's a shitty person and they do shitty things to people. You tend to have a little less empathy for them, don't you? You tend to care a little bit less about those people because they've demonstrated that they don't care about anybody but themselves. Brett is the definition of somebody who only cares about themselves. He's forsaken his mother, he's forsaken his wife, he's forsaken his children. He's done everything he possibly can over the course of his life to make sure that he runs from responsibility as fast as he possibly can. And you're going to sit here as somebody that knows nothing about him whatsoever and try to gatekeep the actual calling out of his personality and who he is. You don't know anything about him, Dan. You just don't. You just got here and you're trying to tell the person that's been watching this person for a decade plus how to feel about them. No. Okay, it doesn't work that way. Missing Mulligan, the problem is he's still literally with his wife and kids, Aiden. Yeah, I know he's with his wife and kids, but do you know what happened between him and his wife? Because I do. You know why I know? Because it's publicly available information. He had an ex parte put on him by his wife because he kept showing up and getting in her face and hitting her when she would tell him to go away because they were both upset and stressed out because their daughter was dying. This is true. Their daughter did indeed almost die of hydrocephalus. This is true. But much like with every other story, Brett takes that iota of truth and weaves it into a whole bunch of other lies, saying, oh, well, it was just Dawn's crazy stepmother that put the ex parte out on me. And she just got Dawn convinced that they need to get away from me. No, because it's not just Dawn that he had an ex parte. It was his mother as well. Because he kept beating on the door and screaming at his mother and eventually hit his mother. We have domestic violence charges from his mother to him. This is real. This is something that you can look into yourself. He got kicked out of the house and he beat on his mother. All right? His daughter was dying, and in order to take out the stress of doing that, he beat on his wife. All right? He did horrible things, and he takes advantage of his daughter. You know why I know that he takes advantage of his daughter? Because when he was having beef with somebody known as Case, what was it? Smooth Terrorist was one of his names. I'm trying to think of the original name that he went by, but his actual real life name is Case. That's not doxing. He's revealed it himself. He had beef with this person. And Brett released a document showing that, allegedly, Case, through an email that had never been seen before, emailed Brett calling his daughter a water-headed idiot. And Case made a video in response saying, I never did that. I would have never, if I did do that, I would have been the one to show everybody. And this is obviously just something you're going to have to take on faith because he's not around anymore. Brett certainly isn't going to give you the accurate portrayal of what happened. But I know for a fact that Smooth Terrorist, whenever he would upload a video, he was not afraid of calling people things like that. He was not afraid of making fun of people's wives and daughters. He was a very personal person in his insults, and I did not like Case.
Aiden.
Aiden, your volume, your mic is gone.
Aiden, are you there?
Aiden.
Oh, God.
Aiden, your mic is gone, gone, gone.
Oh no.
You ever seen the Outer Limits before?
The what?
Mark?
The what now?
The Outer Limits, the original?
No, I don't think so.
Like this, like we're in control over your TV. Never remember that?
I'm not
It's
sure I know what you're referring to.
It's kind of like the Twilight Zone.
Oh, yeah? What's it called again?
The Outer Limits.
Outer Limits.
It's more of a sci-fi one.
Okay. No, I'm not too familiar with it.
Fantasy, horror, sci-fi, but they're more sci-fi, horror, fantasy. What are you doing, Miss Outcast?
I'm trying to get rid of the sound mixer in OBS because it's one of the things that completely messes up my sound, so I can barely hear people speaking.
Can you read the?
I have no idea
words
how to.
Come on. Can you read the bottom of the words?
If I can what?
Can you read these words coming on the screen? The bottom.
Brother Pike, don't wear shorts.
Should I have that on tonight when he talks?
Yeah,
it does his...
Of course.
Mark, Can you
Yeah, he
help
showed
me
me
with
the-
the sound mixer thing?
Yes. What are you having trouble with?
Well, I just want it shut off and gone.
Okay.
Oh,
The little speaker things on the right of the slider, just click them and it'll mute whatever
Yeah,
that source
but
is.
not just mute, because it still interferes somehow.
Okay, go to settings.
Oh, where? Which of them?
Under studio mode and above exit on the bottom right.
Oh, yes.
Then go to audio
Ah, yeah.
and disable whichever ones you want disabled.
So they're all,
Under global audio devices, you can
yeah,
just disable.
they're all disabled.
Cool. Hit apply.
But there it I don't want OBS to be involved in the sound at all, because it somehow,
Right.
and all of those are already deactivated and it's applied.
Okay. So it
Uh,
shouldn't be.
But it's still showing, and
Okay.
there is,
Well, on the ones.
it says under advanced, or whatever it's in English.
Yeah.
It's playback.
Man, it's always good when you lose
play-
internet connection. Sorry, go ahead.
Playback device. There it says headphones. And deactivate
Right.
audio docking in Windows.
Aiden, basically the words I have coming on this.
Yeah. Audio ducking is when it
I like it a lot.
makes other audios quiet when you're speaking over OBS. Now, what audio device do you have selected in Restream?
Sorry, what audio?
My internet's
what?
crapping out, guys. I gotta go. Sorry.
Aiden, we can hear you perfectly fine.
Oh,
Your
can you hear me
internet's
fine now?
perfect.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can hear you fine.
Okay. Well, where did I
Troubleshooting
cut off?
Julian's
Where did I
audio.
cut off before before I ended up dying there? Because I kind of just realized
I
at the
have
end of
no
my
idea,
little rant
because
that
I
was
can
just
barely
rambling
hear
to nobody at all.
Aiden, we're in the middle of something, Aiden.
Oh, I'm sorry. There might be a bit of a delay then, or something. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
That's alright, we forgive you.
All right, let's get back to
Evie,
tech support.
in your Restream setting,
remove the. Yeah.
what is your
In my
audio input and output selected?
My phones.
Okay, so nothing to do with OBS, right?
Well, I
And if
know,
you have all the audio stuff in OBS
I know from before that OBS effed with the sound, just like it does now. I had to restart my computer earlier, and once I did that, because apparently OBS didn't want to shut down. OBS seems like a freaking unstable piece of software, I have to say.
Ooh. Well, try this. Just go ahead and shut OBS down without restarting your computer, because you've already applied that setting. It might need a restart. The easiest way to do that
Yeah.
and avoid any kind of weird shutdowns would be to right-click on your taskbar Go to task manager and
can't I just shut down?
well, you said it didn't want to shut down, so this is the
No,
easiest
yeah,
way to
it
do
didn't
that.
want to shut. It didn't want to shut down previously when I had to restart the computer because of something.
Well, it's still best to end the process or end the task.
This is riveting stuff,
To the
guys.
task manager. I know.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Just
I'm trying to
hear
add a bit of levity.
anything anyone saying.
I'm trying to inject a bit of levity to the stream so that everyone doesn't go, basically.
Yeah, I'm sorry. It's my fault.
No, don't worry. I'm not upset with you in any way, shape, or form.
I will do that, and you guys keep on trucking.
All right.
Wow. That was a very, very American thing for you to say. I think she's a CIA spy. I think that she just you know that scene in Inglourious Bastards where they're like 3 glasses and he holds up the 3 fingers the American way rather than the German way, and that's how he knows that he's a spy. That you just held up your 3 fingers the American way. You just did it right there.
I poo-pooed. I poo-pooed it.
You did. You did. I love that movie so much because it just totally takes a dump on the concept of like main characters not dying. Like nobody is unkillable in that movie, and everyone just dies all the time. It's great for that.
Now I just messed up my OBS. What did I do?
And you're like, when they're planning the assassination attempt on Hitler, you're like, yeah, they're gonna try it, but they're not gonna succeed. And then there's just this glorious scene of Hitler just getting gunned down. Like there's just a full mag. Just put it. It's great. It's great.
I'll be right back.
What movie
What a
was
great
this?
movie.
Did you say?
Inglourious Bastards.
Oh.
You've never seen it?
Oh yeah, but like 500 years ago.
Well, see it again. It's a good movie.
English Bastards. Maybe not. When did that movie come out? In the 90s?
I think it was the 90s, yeah.
Yeah, late 90s or something like that. Yeah.
Before my time.
Yeah.
It's true. It's true. Never seen a single moment of the 1900s, and I'm almost 24, Deviant. How's that make you feel? How's that make you feel that I'm almost in my mid-20s, and I haven't even seen a single moment of the century that you grew up in?
It makes me feel like I should be nicer to you because I'm talking to a little baby.
Baby Aiden?
You know what? You know what? The Assyrians were just little babies compared to the Egyptians too, and look where that got them. That's all I'm gonna say. That's all I'm gonna say.
Get them anywhere.
I think it got them somewhere. It got them somewhere.
Yeah, but they still didn't last for 3,500 years.
Yeah, well, you know what did last? You know what did last? The motif of awesome fucking skull towers. That's what lasted for 3,500 years.
Oh, wow. Look at that jävla ljudmisk.
Assyria really is like the ultimate. Do you think just for a moment, Deviant? I think just a fun little gambit for us fellow students of history to run. Do you think like 2,000, 3,000 years ago, or I guess 2,000 years ago, closer to that, the ancient people of that day looked on the Assyrian Empire the same way that like skinheads look on like the Third Reich today? They're like, yeah, bro, the Assyrians were like totally based, man. They had a great empire, man.
No,
I mean, sure, it only lasted for like 100 years, but it was great.
Look at 50-year-old Aiden.
I do know that the Greeks looked kind of like that on on Egypt. Only in this scenario, the Greeks were Nazis too.
No, I'm just wondering if there was like I'm not even talking about civilizations. If there was just like the edgy equivalent of like a basement dwelling neo-Nazi, just with the Assyrians back in the ancient world, just going like, "Yeah, man, I'm part of the true Assyria," and their parents are just like, we're ashamed of him and all, but he tends the fields, I guess. So we haven't sold him into slavery yet.
Possibly.
What will you think of 50-year-old Aiden?
I'm terrified of it because I don't want to be half of Deviant's age. I really don't.
Oh my.
Luckily for you, you're not. But you're close.
116, are we?
How old do you think I am, Mark?
116. What Aiden alluded to.
I have never said I'm 116.
No, Aiden said that.
Wow, Mark, that's really rude of you to say that, Mark. Honestly, like the fact that you were trying to imply that Deviant is
half her age
116
when
years
Logan
old.
just said she was.
I'm not the one that
you were
invoked
half
it.
her
I
age?
never said 116.
Wait,
I never said no.
no.
I never said 116
Mathematically.
years once. That came out of your mouth, Ben Shapiro, trying to. Let's say mathematically, hypothetically,
Logan,
that it wasn't me that made a fool
share
of
your-
themselves on the screen.
Share that image again, Logan. 58 is half the age
Using
of
some Skylar math
how
right
old-
here. Using some
58
Skylar
is
math
half-
right here.
58 is one half the age
Yeah.
of how old?
No,
Aiden?
sorry.
you
Just
claim to
rambling.
be
Just ramble a little
half
more,
the
Mark. No, just ramble a little more. It's okay. No. I'm not
58
gonna stop
times
you.
2
Just
is-
keep. Yeah. No. Go ahead and inform us. Go ahead and inform us, Professor. I'm waiting for you. I don't want to try. Yeah. What was it? Sorry.
16.
Right.
would
The
be
number that you
answer.
cited, and I never said at any point.
No.
Right. The number that you cited and invoked in this conversation, and I never even said once. You're right, Mark. Please keep digging your hole just a little deeper.
Did you or did you not say I wouldn't want to be half the age of Deviant when Logan shared that image of 58-year-old Aiden?
I actually said that I was more interested in having a conversation about history, like what we were talking about before, rather than getting into semantical nonsense like what you're trying to get into.
Diversion.
Like, here we go. Mark Stoney out here trying to just get us into drama. Just trying to get us into drama. Trying to turn us against each other. Hey, Deviant, you know the number that I cited in the conversation? You know the number that I brought up? Yeah, I'm going to use that to try and divide you against Aiden, even though you didn't say anything whatsoever. Yeah, what a good contribution to the conversation, Mark. I'm just
Everyone, can I show you guys a
glad
video?
that you're here to contribute that.
Can I show you a video?
Please show us a
Father
video.
Charles knows what.
I want a hard priest.
That will calm us all down. Oh, sorry.
Why?
Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt in this conference.
No, why? Why was that said?
You know that contributed about as much to the conversation as Mark did when he was trying to turn me and Deviant against each other. Honestly,
I did no such thing.
I remember it clearly. No, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. I have no idea what you're talking
Well, here's
about.
what we can do. All right, here's what we can do.
I mean, Deviant.
We can.
Yeah,
we can go
Deviant,
back.
you do remember. You remember.
Okay, sure. I'm
No,
a yes person.
So we can go back in time.
Okay.
All right.
Well, no, we can't. No, we can't. I mean, like you just want to dwell in the past. You're like Mark once again.
I think it got
just
them
dwelling in
somewhere.
the past, just living in the past. Literally is incapable of living in the present. Like I just want to point that out about Mark right now. He can't move on. Yeah,
You
well,
can't
you know
move
what did
forward,
last?
and
You know
rather
what
than
did
just
last?
trying
The
to have an
motif
actual
of us
productive
fucking skull
conversation,
towers.
it's just
That's what
dredging
lasted
up
for 3,500 years.
Oh, wow.
50-year-old
Look at
Aiden.
den där jävla ljudmixen
Assyrian,
på den där
Assyria
horkuken från
really is
Sverige.
like the ultimate. Do
Förbannat.
you think just for a moment, Deviant, I think just a fun little gambit for us fellow students of history to run. Do you think like 2,000, 3,000 years ago, or I guess 2,000 years ago, closer to that, the ancient like the Third Reich today, stood for like
I think we were
Nazi,
way
just with
further
the
ahead. I'm
Assyrian
sorry.
parents are just like, we haven't sold them into slavery yet. I really don't.
Luckily for you, you're how old do you think I am? Luckily for you, you're not.
I want to be half of Deviant's age. I really don't. Terrified of it because I don't want to be half of Deviant's age. I really don't.
Possibly.
What were you think of 50-year-old Aiden?
I'm terrified of it because I don't want to be half of Deviant's age. I really don't.
Possibly.
What were you think of 50-year-old Aiden?
Okay, all right, hold on, pause. So here we have a beautiful example of Mark refusing, once again, just hyperfixating on the past, can't move forward, and to save his life, really, quite frankly. Mark, I just gotta ask you, like, why are you so obsessed with trying to belittle the cause of Christ? That's my question to you, honestly.
Oh, because I point out factual reality, I'm harming the cause of Christ, eh? Eh?
You are. You're harming the cause of Christ right now. You are.
Oh boy. I feel so belittled.
Don't tell me that wasn't the most brilliant setup for
no
parody.
idea what you're talking about, any of you. I'm completely lost.
Well, I mean, Deviant, let me mansplain a little bit here to you, okay?
Yes,
let me just try
I'm
and
just
mansplain.
a simple woman, so use small words, please. Please.
Simple Swedish one. Okay, I'm two syllable words at the biggest.
Yeah, thank you.
Mark, say your age big. He say your age really big.
Yes.
I say your age not big.
Yes.
I say your age really good age. Mark say your age stinky and bad.
Okay. Yes. I understand.
Okay?
Yes.
No, you got it, right?
What were you think of 50-year-old
Thank you.
No problem, buddy. No problem. If you want to terrified of it, sorry, I don't want to be half of Deviant's age. Hey, really Gangster Ghost.
Yeah.
Hey, Logan. Hey, Logan. Would you mind muting this, man? Would you mind muting Mark Stone real quick? Would you mind muting Mark Stone? I was just wondering, could you mute Mark Stone real quick? That's right. I'm trying to have a serious conversation right now with Deviant. I'm trying to belittle her right now with using ancient biblical scripture and talking to her about how even though we're living in the 21st century, we need to adhere to this Bronze Age culture mythology about everything. I was trying to do that, and Mark right now is just trying to play clips right now. You know what? If I'm not live on this show, then I'll just start spamming Bible verses in the chat. That's fine. Hey, Gangster Ghost. I was just wondering how many times has Stump got a hold of you recently? How many times has Stump in the air got a hold of you lately, Gangster Ghost? Gangster Ghost. Logan!
What?
How many times has Stump in the air gotten a hold of you lately?
I said hi to him.
Well, yeah. What did he say? He said, "Depart from me, I never knew you." That's what he said to you.
Thumbs up too.
Oh, he put.
Yeah, you know what? I'm sure Satan put a thumbs up on Adam and Eve when they ate the fruit too.
I'm sure that's what Satan did. I'm sure he gave them a Facebook Live too, didn't he?
Oh.
Speed
That's some
Roman,
stump theology.
4 days older than dust.
Were you there when God was a boy, Speed Romans?
Can I show you another video?
Please.
Hey, Bubby, what day is it today?
It's Friday!
You having a good day?
Oh, hell yeah!
But it's Thursday.
This happens when you knock on Mark's door on Friday.
Yep.
Right, Mark?
100% every time. Come knock on my door on Friday. That is how I will greet you. It'll be fun. What? That was rude.
Well, he did seem
Mark,
a bit
Deviant lives.
off-the-rocker.
Mark, Deviant lives in a little apartment. Okay, she's gonna get a noise complaint if you come over and you're just like, "It's Friday!" Like 3 blocks around her are going to be phoning into the Swedish TV, and they're just going to be like, "There's a big noise."
But this is my house, and while I do have neighbors, they generally tolerate my outbursts. So I think if you knock on my door on a Friday, I will be obligated to greet you in like manner. But it's Thursday, so it's not going to happen today. Sorry.
That's funny.
Good.
Oh, Mark. Yeah, that crazy found out Sky's at Dino Land. I hope he doesn't do anything crazy, anything we all will regret. What do you think?
Well, I did. Kent asked me.
Well, that's just the thing, Gangster Ghost. He won't regret it, so he won't do anything that he'll regret.
Kent asked me what he should do about Skylar, and I put my money where my mouth is when I told him that I would have him trespassed preemptively, because I did that. I had him trespassed, and I think that's pretty much the best course of action for anybody who encounters Skybro crying, because he's not a nice person. He's very hateful.
Wait a second. Did Kent contact you now?
No, I actually texted Kent Hovind this morning to tell him that I would have given him a heads up about Skylar visiting DAL, but I didn't figure out that he was down there until today for certain. Yesterday, I had pretty high speculations that he was, based on the video that Gangster recorded, which Skylar did re-upload or unprivatize today, and it's very evident that he was addressing that towards Kent, and I showed on Google Earth where geolocated his location.
Addressing what? Addressing what?
Addressing
my
Kent
sound
Hovind.
is messed up, so I.
Yeah, so Skylar was addressing Kent Hovind in that video that Logan recorded, and
I didn't.
Yeah, so I was able to geolocate where Skylar was yesterday, and today I called Kent. Well, I texted him first and said, I would have warned him that Skylar was coming that way because Skylar's insane. And Kent asked me what he should do about Skylar. I did call him because I didn't think he would look at the screenshots I sent him where Skylar had admitted that he was literally supposed to kill Kent twice on 2 separate occasions. Something about being in his kitchen and committing a war crime. I don't know. Aiden read that earlier.
Wait, stop. Wait. I didn't. As I said, my sound is messed up, so you're cutting out from time to time.
Is it my sound or is it your sound? Can everybody else hear me okay?
I can hear you.
Okay. Go ahead, Deviant.
Yeah, I think it's my sound. You said you didn't think he was gonna see the screenshots.
Yeah.
So you tried to call him.
No, I did call him.
Messed up. And I heard something about war crime was the next thing.
Okay,
So.
okay. So I can elaborate a little bit on that. So I sent Kent some screenshots and a text message apologizing that I didn't warn him ahead of time that Skylar was going to DAL, because Skylar went to DAL yesterday. And I didn't think Kent would look at the screenshot, so I called him and I asked him if he had spoken to Skylar, if he had met Skylar yesterday, and he said he did. And I said, all right, well, you might want to look at the screenshots I sent you, which I sent him a screenshot of a post that Skylar made. And I can pull that up real quick. Let's see. He made it back in January 8th, so bear with me while I scroll through, because he's made a lot of other really, really crazy posts since then. January 8th. Scrolling. Hang on. I'm sorry. This might take just a second. Okay. Found it. Now I'm going to share it. So this was Skylar's post on January 8th, if somebody wants to read that. Out loud, maybe?
This man is a man whom I legitimately have been supposed to kill dead twice, for 2 separate instances. I worked alongside this man. I drove alongside this man. I rode alongside this man. I screamed at this man. This right here, this video is the most amazing thing for me personally to explain why this man is not dead. He's a much different person today. Kent Hovind, someday soon, you need to start preaching and reading along Ezekiel 38, Ezekiel 39, Jeremiah 31, Jeremiah 33. Yeah, okay, good, thank you. Wait until you're staring at this man in his face, in his own kitchen, after he just committed a real-life war crime against your country. And he tells you he loves your people just as much as you do and means it. Thank you. Those weren't even his verbatim words. Those were his face. Oh my goodness. Where did this man in the video go, Kent Hovind? Where did he go? Start reading Hebrew doc, find out what blah blah.
Yeah. So Skylar has claimed to have been sent to DAL to assassinate Kent Hovind. He's said this to me, said it to many other people, and confirmed it right there with his little post. So I just wanted to let Kent know what he was in store for if he was going to be associating with Skylar. And, I don't want Kent dead. We were talking about that earlier. I don't want him dead. I certainly don't want him killed by some maniac. So I thought it prudent to let him know that Skylar's intentions are, at best, unknowable right now, and certainly not good.
Yeah. Did he talk to Kent?
Me? Yes.
I mean, did Skylar?
Yes.
Kent say he talked to him?
Yes.
Oh.
He went to DAL yesterday.
I wonder what he said to him.
I think it was something to do with Israel. I don't know.
No, not Israel.
Well, Russia and Iran and Pakistan and the United States and him going to Washington D.C. seeking asylum in Russia and just Can we move on to a more interesting subject? I've about had my fill for
Please. Please.
I was just wondering about. I was confused about the part. Okay.
Yeah.
Are you guys hearing yourself through me?
No.
Yeah, I was hearing a little bit of myself earlier, but not anymore.
Good. I will
Sounds
know
good,
the
mate.
What would you like to talk about?
because I've turned off OBS. It did nothing for the sound, and I'm getting freaking sick of sitting here and not being able to hear what anyone is saying. So I now changed to my regular speakers, and I'm talking through my headset.
Oh, and this is the video that Skylar was referring to. The reason why Kent was not assassinated, allegedly, supposedly.
The unavailable one.
Yep. So that's really helpful. All right. Anyway, just take the take the topic away from me, please.
Okay.
Oi, mate, how's it going? I just joined the room. It's me, Mark Reed. I know everything there is to know about everything, mate.
No.
You just ask me anything about anything, and I'll tell you right away, mate, because I know everything.
Shush.
I
I love his
What was
accent.
that?
I really do.
No, he's got a great accent. I'm just messing around. Don't worry. I like Mark Reed a lot.
Yeah. Well, the other day you guys got in a bit of a disagreement.
No, I think it's good, though. I think it's healthy to have disputes openly if you don't agree with something, even amongst supposedly the same side. You know, just because we're both atheists doesn't mean we're going to be lockstep about everything about reality. So
Is it
I think
true
that was
what
a good
Pete Town
demonstration
says?
of that.
You're part of the dark side of the force.
I'm part of the dark, so that'd be awesome, dude. Once again, like, these people make me way cooler than I actually am. They really do. I'm a prophet of Baal, or I'm some, like, Sith Lord out there somewhere, you know, like, with my own, like, dark fortress on a lava planet. Like, that'd be awesome. But that's not me, unfortunately.
Well, you do have a small patch of land in Scotland that makes you a
I
lord.
got some land in Scotland, that's right, mate.
Do you
Lord
have any
Aiden.
Scottish heritage?
Oh, aye, lad.
Are you part Scottish?
Oh, aye, lad. That's right.
You are?
That's right.
Oh. Oh. What do you think of that guy Michael Jones, inspired of philosophy?
I've never heard of him before, sorry. I don't think
Right.
you've ever mentioned him before.
Okay. He's very inspired.
Is he?
Philosophy.
About philosophy? Well, how do you know that he's inspired about philosophy? Just because he has those two words in conjunction with each other does not necessarily mean that they have those connotations with each other, Gangster Ghost. He could be inspired and also just have philosophy there as another word just to kind of like fill space because inspired wasn't already taken by somebody. You know, there could be a lot of different explanations for why his name is like that. And I think the fact that you've taken this very, quite frankly, communist approach to his naming
I think your little inspirational little rant there was very uninspired, Aiden.
I think it was about as inspired as your argument trying to tear me and Deviant apart. Or, oh, let me just play clips of what Aiden said over and over again. Let's totally just derail everything that's going on.
What was it that you were terrified
Told Aiden accountable for his actions. Like, oh my god, here we go again.
Age of who?
I think that was
if you were 58, which is what the meme implied.
Right.
Who were you terrified to be half the age of, Aiden?
I think I was terrified to be half of one iota of the amount of intellect that you displayed in that argument, Mark. Because truly, if I had that much intellect at my disposal, if I had that much intelligence at my disposal, then really I'd be able to envelop the entire universe with my sheer wit and capacities. You know what, God Emperor Mark? I'm just gonna leave it to you. I'm just gonna everything, all of reality just bends to your whim, right, Mark? Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. That was such a beautiful sermon that you just gave there. Thank you so much.
Blah, blah, blah,
Thank you
blah,
so
blah.
much. Can I lick your boots? You mean boots that I can? Thank you.
Right? You're welcome.
No, he's not. So basically, when Aiden speaks, you know, I mean, his words are certainly words.
Yes,
At times.
Lord.
At times, his words are certainly words, but this
Preach,
is all
Lord.
I hear. This is all I hear.
Your word is gibberish.
Gibberish. Gibberish. Gibberish.
That is correct.
It's coming. It's coming. Aiden just bouncing into the chat, on the stream, and here he comes with his intellect.
Is Igawala.
Even looks like Aiden.
What? Igawala.
Any white guy without a beard that looks vaguely young. It's just, that looks like Aiden.
Can you use it?
Yes. Aiden, it looks just like you.
Sure.
And here he goes.
He doesn't have blonde hair, and he's young without a beard. He looks just like you, Aiden.
Is this not Aiden? This is Aiden. In fact, I think this is probably you.
Dude, it kind of does bop, though. Kind of does bop.
Oh, it's live. It's live.
There's this other guy that looks like you talking to prequel.
If I could just, take somebody from Neolithic times, 20,000 years ago, and just, put them in our modern time, I think I'd just drop them in this room. I think I'd just drop them right here.
You've seen everything. All of it. Right here. Aiden and his Igawaba.
Thank you, Aiden.
He didn't actually speak some Spanish there. Some actual Spanish. He said, what is your name? How are you?
What is your name, Mike?
Igawala. Well, Aiden's really hit this right here. Explanation. Look, he's got the clipboard out.
This is actual bullying. This is actual bullying.
Is it?
Yes.
Why'd you make this video then?
Yeah, it's bullying.
You're bullying, Aiden.
What I did in 2017 is my business. Alright? And what you did in 2017 is your business.
What are you saying?
Okay? I don't ask about all those dead hookers all the time on the stream, Mark. I don't ever bring those up.
No, you don't, because they never happen.
Right. Okay.
This is real.
Never mind that one night on November 23rd where you confessed to me what really happened. Yeah, what really happened in... Where was it you said? Galveston, Texas. Yeah, I think it was Galveston, Texas you said that all took place in. Yeah.
Aiden, say something smart.
Aiden.
I don't need to say anything smart. I just need to say the truth. Okay, I just need to say the truth. On November 23rd of 2017, Mark Stoney approached a young woman in a Galveston alleyway. What followed would eventually shape the rest of his life.
Go ahead, continue with your ego walla walla walla.
No. I'm just gonna become JCS, criminal psychology, real quick here, and just describe the horrible dark events that took place. Yes, that's right.
You'll never amount to Jim Can't Swim.
On November the 23rd, 2017, Mark Stoney was seen in a Galveston, Texas alleyway. I can do it, dude. I've got it. I'm the next one. I'm the next JCS, dude. It's true. You could be on the ground floor, Mark. We could make up a fake true crime story for you and get 18 million views on YouTube.
Let's hear it. Go ahead. I'm all ears.
Well, I can't do it on air because that'd spoil it. I mean, like, I'd have to tell you off stream.
Would you like to see the story of
Never let him know your next move, Mark.
I did watch Joker last night. It was really pretty good.
I'm like
The
a
one with
Dustin
Joaquin Phoenix.
chasing cars.
No, not the Heath Ledger.
I know.
The Joaquin Phoenix, and I haven't seen that one before. I have seen the Heath Ledger.
You haven't seen okay, what do you think of it? I need to know now.
I enjoyed it.
It was quite good.
His dancing was a little eccentric, but I think that was part of the character.
Part of the character, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Definitely one of the more memorable endings to a movie in recent times that I've seen.
Yeah, because it tied together so much, like.
Well, they built the tension surrounding it so beautifully,
and still leaves the question open for whether or not Wayne was his father.
Yeah.
Arthur being, because he looks just like they took great care to find an older actor that could be Joaquin Phoenix's father. I wonder if that was his dad, because they had the same nose. Like in real life, that could have been his real dad. They look that much alike.
They're making a sequel to it.
What's the sequel?
Joker 2, I think.
Is it out yet?
Is that what it's called? Joker 2, I think.
Yeah. It's going to have...
Shut up,
what's her name in it? What's her name? She's going to play Harley Quinn.
Harry Quinn?
Harley Quinn. Harley Quinn.
Nice. It's really progressive of them to cast a Harry Quinn.
Yeah. What's her name? Her name.
Hey, everybody, I'm Harley. Just some fat Boston guy.
Is it
what if what's her name?
Chick that played in Suicide Squad?
No, it's going to be a different lady.
Oh, okay.
What is her name? She's a famous singer. I forgot her name.
Kelly Clarkson.
No, she's a big time singer. Got her name. She sings a lot.
Beyonce. I don't know.
Whitney. No, she's not alive.
Oprah. Oprah Winfrey.
Well, she doesn't sing.
Dude, Oprah would be such a bomb.
Nora Jones.
Lady Gaga.
Apparently that tickled Deviant's fancy over there, thinking
Lady
of Oprah belting it out on the stage.
Okay, yes, Lady Gaga does in fact sing a lot.
She's going to be the new Harley Quinn in that movie.
I think Fergie would be better. Just
I
saying.
think Aiden should be Harley Quinn.
I think you should shut up.
Oh, okay.
You gotta say about that, Logan.
Yeah. What you gotta say to that, buddy?
I don't know.
I feel really bad now. I can't say that to you. I felt really dirty saying that. I felt really bad. Oh my gosh. I feel like Ken Hovind whenever he punts a chihuahua.
Oh, you must feel really good right now.
I feel good. That should be the song Oprah sings. So good. So good. I made multiple billions of dollars basically doing a talk show host that really didn't add anything of any sort of substance to the American psyche or cultural zeitgeist whatsoever.
Sandra said that I would.
Oh God. Oh God.
I'm quitting the internet forever.
Oh man.
Here we go. In fact,
Do you guys want to see the story of Michael Jones? Of the Inspire stuff.
Michael God, Gangster Ghost. You make me feel like I'm in the Matrix. You make me feel like I'm Andrew Tate sometimes, and I'm trapped in the Matrix. You know, like I'm here right now, and I'm in the Matrix right now, and you're trying to get me over here, like, oh, you're not in the Matrix right now. No, you're in real life. Well, you acting like a piece of shit when you take advantage of all of those women and make them go to romance like a fucking cook, right? Like, I'm not gonna take any of that. I'm not gonna take any
Space
of that
isn't
from you.
real, bro.
Hey, Gangster Ghost, I got a question for you right now. You want to be a top G? You want to be a top G? No, you don't want to be a top G? Why not? Let me ask you something, Gangster Ghost. What color is your Bugatti?
What?
What color is your Bugatti?
Never heard of it.
It's because you're a globetrot.
Yeah, it's because you don't got a Bugatti, do you? You don't got a Bugatti. Bugatti.
What?
A Bugatti.
A Bugatti.
Never heard
of their own.
Oh,
do you know they made an electric scooter? They made a Bugatti made an electric scooter, and it's like the most piece of garbage electric scooter on the market too. Like, it's just horrible. Like, it looks nice. It does. I'll give him that. It looks nice. It's got good looks, but like all Bugattis, that's literally about as far as it goes, as far as being like a useful product.
Yeah, Lamborghini made a laptop too.
Did they?
Yeah, so did Ferrari, and they were total pieces of junk.
Very man. Though. Just like Chinese like shovelware with just a Bugatti or a Lamborghini logo slapped on it. That's right.
Aiden.
Yes.
What if one day I get Jason from Greek Orthodox on here?
That'd be fun. I got a question for you. What do you think would happen if Kent sold 83% of DAL to some like Chinese subsidiary somewhere, and that's like really how he's keeping himself going right now? He's actually like owned and funded by the Chinese Communist Party.
Oh, he'd be part of TikTok.
That's true. Oh, snap! He's got a TikTok.
Yeah.
Oh,
that's why he's gotten so many subscribers lately, is because he's been branching out into other social media platforms.
Wow, hasn't been sponsored by any Chinese, conglomerates or anything like that whatsoever. I'm sure.
What do you think of?
What happens between me and Wei Ding Shabong stays between me and Wei Ding Shabong. Okay, whatever.
I also love what you said that. He said he's out. He made a threat against you. You say, "Who has it?"
What was that?
When you said earlier, you say, "Oh, he made death threats against you." You did by his Kent voice. Who has it?
Oh yeah. Who hasn't, Mark?
Yeah, but when the guy who has made open allusions to being sent there to assassinate him, shows up on YouTube within 5 miles of the guy, I don't want to see him killed, especially not on a live stream, which is how Skylar says he would kill people on live camera. Well, at least when he was referring to Missing Mod, anyway.
Dan, this is what Dan said about Aiden.
What did he say?
He's in trouble.
Aiden sounds like Brett Keenan is 20. Dan, that's a low blow, dude. That's a low blow. All right. First and foremost, I am not anywhere near as jowly as Brett Keenan is. Okay, even when he was younger, Brett has a very jowly voice. You can hear it all just kind of jiggling around like a big bowl of jelly in the situation. Whenever he moves a giant gaping maw, he calls a mouth. I don't have that. All right, so I take umbrage with your statement, Mr. Posy. All right, I take issue. You know what? I'm not sitting here calling you oh, you look like the Baron Harkonnen from Dune, the 1984 version of Dune, given flesh. I don't say things like that because that's rude. And it's not true, and it's not true. Okay, it's not true. That's the most important part. Is it's not accurate.
But is it?
No.
Okay.
No. The Baron from 1984 Dune is one gross looking dude. He's got like an attendant that like drains all his sores and stuff. It's pretty gross. Pretty
So what are you up
gross.
to, Deviant?
Huh?
What are you up to?
I'm just listening to a bunch of
trying to
idiots.
understand what you're talking about.
What am I talking about? I wasn't talking. It was Aiden.
No, what you.
Oh my god, here he goes again, just trying to put things on me. Oh, it was Aiden that was doing that. It was Aiden that brought up the number of years that was going on. It was Aiden that caused 9/11. Like, holy crap, Mark, what am I not responsible for?
Thank you for listening, family, for once in your life.
Like, what did
Because
I not
said
cause?
all of those things.
Yeah, you did.
You probably caused Missing Maud's broken heart somehow, some way. You're behind it.
Oh, she's upset with me now. You saw her getting all upset with me in the comments earlier.
No,
It's just...
I'm driving.
Oh, okay. Well,
not-
that's good. That's a mercy for you then.
Not literally, figuratively. Well, I mean, kind of
Yeah.
literally, but also kind
No,
of.
earlier when she was in the comments, she was flipping out because of the fact that I find the fact that she cannot.
Finish a sentence. What happened to Aiden?
No idea.
Oh, my phone. I'm on my phone right now, and for some reason, it constantly goes to sleep whenever I have this thing on. So I need to constantly be messing with the screen to keep it on. And I'm currently taking care of my garbage.
So
I do put my own phone to sleep.
I would
I'm
like
that boring.
to point one thing out. Maybe you already have, and I don't think the guy is here, but you never know, because today is a very special day.
It's Bims's birthday!
It's birthday!
Happy birthday, Bimsy!
He's 4 years old!
Woo!
10! He's 10 years old!
He's
10 leap
10.
years, by the way.
Whee!
Is he in the chat?
Yeah, I thought, hey, got to at least mention it.
Oh, Beamsy, happy birthday!
Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy, 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 yep.
This is your birthday song. You're only 10 years old. Trying to get some hot laps in here today at Hiroshi Raceway.
Oh,
what?
Aiden.
It's a fake place. It's not real.
Sure.
Just like this game is not real.
Sure.
Just
Aiden, what do you do if we fall into another dimension where you live the life in the dune?
Aiden just fell into an alternate universe where he is in the dune. But plot twist. The dune he fell into is actually the sand dunes at Dinosaur Adventureland.
Oh no. Do you want to see we had do you know that what's the name said that when he did this response video to Bart Ehrman, they said that one prophecy where it says that a virgin will give birth. He said it was saying has gave birth. This is supposed to be what it's in the original Hebrew. Do you know the original Hebrew?
No.
Oh.
I speak
You
English. I speak English.
Oh.
En uno poquito de español.
And just
Nada mucho. Sí, es correcto.
Oh. Book.
What am I looking at?
Do you want to see this story of the great wise Michael Jones?
If that's what you want to show, then sure.
Yes.
Awesome.
This is your show, Logan.
Oh, you sure? Oh.
Positive.
You gotta forget something else to remember that Uber Eats has.
That guy looks like you.
That's absurd. Hey, remember when you?
That's you and
what was
Miss
it?
Outcast.
Pepper Lady.
Wasn't it?
Is that you and Miss Outcast?
I'm driving. I'm here.
No.
Is that you and Miss Outcast?
I don't think so.
Was it Spice
Wasn't
Girls?
it?
Doesn't sound right.
It could be in an alternate universe, I suppose.
We have a video on that. So that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with.
You shouldn't overeat. It says overeat everything.
What you're trying to accomplish with it.
Overeating is not good. It's what gives you an oversized belly.
Yeah,
I
this
know.
tells you the story and lifetimes of Michael Jones. Michael Jones.
Speak from experience.
He's very inspired with his philosophy.
Is he? Or is
Do you
his
think he's
philosophy
spoiled?
inspired?
Do you think his what's his name? Is he possibly? Do you think he's spoiled with philosophy?
I don't know. I think that's something you would have to ask him.
Kent said that to him.
Yes, you know,
Make it positive if you have questions.
I will.
Say.
Called Inspiring Philosophy. And the goal really is, as I told my followers, we're trying to build a video library. We want to try to have a video for every apologetic question out there, every objection to Christianity, everything we can use to argue for Christianity. So if you've got a question like the Council of Nicaea or what's going on in 2 Kings 3, you can go right there and search for it and find it in our library.
So the vision would be, that's going to be a pretty by the end, if I can look up 2 Kings 3. I mean,
well,
gonna...
there's a specific issue in 2 Kings 3 that I'm focusing on right now.
Okay.
With the whole Mesha and his sack thing. But obviously it's not going to be every single chapter. We just focus on specific issues.
Okay.
Like, for example, what's going on with the serpents 3? Is that an actual talking snake, or is it possibly Satan himself? How do we know? Or, what's going on with the gospel?
It's not
evidence
Satan.
with this contradiction. Does John contradict?
Why do you say that?
Well, because there is nothing in Genesis that implies that it is Satan, and Satan actually didn't come along until later.
What do you think, Mark? Mark?
Mark?
Are you there, Mark?
There? Do you have your sound on? What's your sound like? We can't hear you. Did someone steal your voice?
Are you there, Mark?
He pooped. He pooped out.
Oh no.
Oh no.
There he is. Are you there, Mark?
Hello.
Hello.
There
Can you hear me
you
Hi,
now?
are.
Mark.
Woo!
Oh my goodness, I slipped into another dimension.
Oh.
I
What
can
do you
hear
think
you
of that?
guys.
Do you think the snake in our garden was the devil, or do you think it was Hillary Clinton?
It was Hillary Clinton.
Oh, I didn't know those two were the option.
Yeah. Steven said that the devil's like Hillary Clinton's too evil to be the devil. Yeah. Well, what do you think, Mark? Do you think the snake in the garden of Eden was the devil?
Yeah.
Oh. 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 Yeah. I'll be right there.
Predict the synoptics on which day Jesus was crucified. Well, we have a video on that. So that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with.
Gotcha. So I'm very interested in life journeys of why people arrive where they do and what they give becomes their passion, what they do with that passion. And so I'm not asking for necessarily your life story, but on the other hand, Why did you arrive at this place where now you dedicate that kind of time and that effort? What were the pivot points in your life that led you to that?
Well, the simple answer is at the time, I didn't think a lot of people were. I had just finished school. I got my bachelor's in film and video editing. And the only job I could get was working nighttime security jobs, where I would basically sit in a trailer and do nothing for 8 hours. But I had my computer with me, and I'm like, you know what? I could make some videos. And so that's how I kind of started to get going. I thought there wasn't a good Christian presence on YouTube. There was some here and there, but there wasn't a lot, and I thought I could contribute to that. So I saw a need. Apologetics, studying history, philosophy is a passion of mine. So where my needs met my desires is where I felt like God was calling me.
Yeah, apologetics itself, when did that become a passion? Was that something that really helped you in your conversion, or did you just grow up with it? It was kind of natural to you, or you're used to it? Well, what's your story behind that entire topic?
That's a funny story. I grew up in a very fundamentalist church. A lot of stuff that I believe in. I mean, I still believe in every orthodox position. I mean, I don't believe in certain things that maybe the fundamentalists would hold on to. But it really turned me off for Christianity. I thought it was all fire and brimstone, pushing people away, and it sort of pushed me into some sort of agnostic deist position. So I decided I was going to start looking for evidence against Christianity, and I think maybe by luck or fate, maybe I found some of the worst evidence against Christianity.
I thought he said that it was because of Kent Hovind's arguments that he almost left Christianity.
That's what he said to Kent.
Oh, well, so he's got a different reason here.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Oh, do you think he's just working for the overlords?
Well, I do. Excuse me. I want to clarify one thing. Who was saying that the serpent in the garden wasn't Satan or Lucifer?
It was her.
You did?
I did.
Do you like being wrong?
Nope.
No?
But
Can I correct you?
sometimes I am.
May I correct you? Kindly?
Sure.
Okay, so Revelation 12:9.
Revelation's
and
written much later, so you can't.
Right. But here's why it ties the serpent in the garden to Satan. It says, and the great dragon was thrown out, that ancient serpent who is called the devil and Satan, the deceiver of the whole world. He was thrown down to earth, and his angels were thrown down with him. So that's reference from the New Testament, which I believe, I have the New Testament, to Satan being the ancient serpent, the one that deceived the whole world.
Sure, but it's you're still talking about texts that are written several hundred years apart for different religions, nonetheless.
Well, no.
If you're looking at when the accounts are written, at the time that the accounts in Genesis were written down, the Jews didn't have the concept of a devil. So that alone should tell you that it's actually not the devil. Plus, where does it say that the devil is a snake crawling on his belly? Because that's according to Genesis what happens to the snake in the garden.
Well, also there's references in Isaiah and Ezekiel that refer to a figure that fell from grace named Lucifer, which is commonly associated with Satan. And it might not explicitly link Lucifer or this satanic figure with the serpent in the garden. It certainly does mention Lucifer. The same in Ezekiel, it describes the fall of a figure that is actually interpreted as Satan, and it focuses on his pride and rebellion against God. I mean, it does present imagery in the sense that it can be related to the serpent in the garden, and that's from the Old Testament. But when you look at the Christian Bible, which is both Testaments, we see a more explicit identification of the ancient serpent, that is called the devil and Satan. So there's the identification, because Revelation was written by John, which was highly influenced by Daniel, which is Old Testament, and Daniel obviously, knew these references.
Okay, so can I read to you from? This is from the University of Iowa, Bible and
Iowa.
Archaeology.
More like ayahuasca. Okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Iowa.
Being rude. Yeah.
Only question: is the snake in the Garden of Eden Satan? It's written by Jordan Smith. I can check quickly what is. Oh, it just says Jordan Smith, but it's for the University of Iowa.
Okay.
Written on Monday, April 10th, 2023. So last year. The existence of Satan or the devil as the leader of the forces of evil has become a common depiction even in popular culture. Though it is important to note that many Jewish and Christian communities prefer to interpret the figure as a type of evil inclination. When we look for Satan in the canonical text of the Hebrew Bible, Old Testament, and New Testament, however, we find a gradual development from a vocational role to a member of the heavenly court to God's adversary. Our earliest texts contain few discussions of the evil character called Hasatan, or the accuser, and he seems to have begun in earnest after the exile. The general Hebrew term Satan refers often to adversarial roles that humans perform, and he cites 1 Samuel 29:4 and 1 Kings 11:25. However, Balaam's talking donkeys saves him from being killed by a divine figure described as an adversary on his way to curse the Israelites. Numbers 22, verses 22 to 35. And because I'm not going to read all of it, because I will give you the link. Wait. So.
Well, I would agree that this figure is gradually revealed over time. That's the way that Scripture works. It's a gradual revelation that begins with the Genesis and ends with the final revelation.
So, but listen. I'm just going to read the end paragraphs.
Okay.
The connection to the snake of Eden that tempts with forbidden knowledge, Genesis 3:1-7, seemingly becomes obvious in hindsight. However, we must note that in Genesis 3, the serpent is never, and it's cursive, not cursed. The serpent is never referred to as Satan, only as the serpent. As far as Genesis 3 is concerned, simply a talking snake. At no point does the narrative describe the serpent as Satan, but it is easy to see how people would merge the two concepts in the later Hellenistic period. The strong apocalyptic influence on many early Christian communities was one of the driving influences why the serpent in the Garden of Eden came to be identified with Satan, and how this interpretation became so ingrained in the popular imagination.
Well, I mean, he can call it popular imagination, but I just showed you why Scripture reveals that the serpent in the garden was in fact that ancient serpent that is called Lucifer and Satan. That's from Revelation, and sure, that was in a much later period of Hellenistic influence on.
It's hindsight.
Well, yeah, that's yes, of course, in hindsight, but that's the way
That's
that
the same
Scripture.
as saying,
Well, do you think that if Adam and Eve would have had the foresight to understand the full nature of God's adversary, they didn't see the serpent as God's
but
adversary.
it's not written for Adam and Eve. It's written for all of mankind, for all of
Sure.
us. So why
Right.
wouldn't they just say Satan or the accuser?
Because it's a revelatory explanation. I mean,
But
you
it's
don't get
not the
all of
revelation. It's
doctrine
not the
from Genesis.
revelation in Genesis. It's not the revelation
No, I'm
in
talking
Genesis.
about I'm talking about the entirety of Scripture. You're not going to get the entire doctrine of Christianity from Genesis chapter 3. It's a revelation over time throughout the Scriptures, and it is revealed more and more. It's alluded to in Ezekiel and Isaiah. It's is outright referred to when he tempts Jesus in the garden. And then in Revelation, which is said to be inspired directly from Jesus by John, identifies that ancient serpent as Lucifer and Satan, the devil and Satan. I mean, I get what the guy is saying, that it looks like, in hindsight, they just added that on, but
Yeah, that's what evidence shows.
Well, that's what happened, is as it's being revealed, we're going back and
But
clarifying what these themes really meant.
Why wouldn't it mention in Genesis if it were actually Satan? And as
Because
I said,
it wouldn't make sense.
Why not?
Sense to have.
Why not?
Because
it's a very important. It's a very important. Not occasion. Event. It's a very important event. It's the basis of why the explanation of why people are suffering. It's God saying it's your fault. Adam says it's his fault. Eve says it's Adam's fault. Everyone is blaming everyone, etc. It's the whole reason for Jesus to come to earth. Why wouldn't it be mentioned who the actual players in this drama is? It's very strange.
Right, and I have a very simple answer to that. Because if Eve had known the full adversarial nature of this serpent, if she had known anything more than that it's just a serpent that's somehow talking to her, she had no knowledge of Lucifer, Satan, demons, devils, any of that. It wasn't anything that she knew of. She didn't even have the knowledge of good and evil at that time. But if she had known the full nature of Satan, Lucifer, the devil, whatever you want to call it, it would not make sense in the story for her to have had the knowledge of this adversary of God.
But
because she wouldn't have been deceived. She would have been willingly participating in a rebellion.
It's not written for her. It's not written for Adam. It's written for us and for every single human that came after them. It's not written for them. So
no, I know it's not written for them.
You
but
can't
if it
say
was written about them,
it makes sense to her.
Of course it wouldn't have made sense for her for it to be written about Eve.
You can't
and the reader only
as being the reason for it not being mentioned, because it's not written for her.
Well, why would this information be revealed only to the reader if it weren't for Eve not knowing who it was she was speaking to? She didn't have a clue.
She's not the one writing Genesis.
Right.
So it doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense to me.
Make sense. It wouldn't make sense if Eve was fully aware of who this Satan character is.
But it's not written from their perspective. It's written from a God perspective, not meaning God of the Bible, but God as when you're talking about how you.
Yeah.
Or
you're roboting.
Like,
oh no.
In medias, where you're in the story when you are the main character looking at things, etc. There are different
Right, but you don't reveal the nature of the antagonist of the entire story right off the bat.
But it's not
You
a
spoil
secret.
the whole
It's supposed
story.
to be saving. It's supposed to explain everything. It's supposed to, in that case, why at all explain how people got here? Why explain the creation? Shouldn't that be a big secret? It doesn't make sense.
Well, I mean, it's all one big story, and yes, when you read the entirety of Scripture, you're supposed to see it in that light. But you also have to consider that these works weren't written at the same time. I mean,
No,
the nature of God and how He deals with
exactly.
people in human history, according to Scripture, is revealed gradually over time. There is no sudden revelation of what's going on here, who this person is in its fullest extent. I mean, we don't even fully know who Christ is until the New Testament when Jesus comes on the scene.
Of
So
course.
why would we expect Lucifer to be fully identified right off the bat if we don't
Because
even
he's
identify
kind of
the main character?
one of the absolute main characters.
Sure,
in
but
Christianity. And somehow there were no Satan in Judaism at the time when the Genesis accounts were written. The accounts
right,
we have today.
right,
There were no
because it had
Satan
not
things
been
in Judaism.
revealed the full nature of this antagonistic character.
Well, all I can say, it makes no sense to me, which I guess you shouldn't be
Well,
surprised by.
you know, okay, that's fine, but it would also make no sense if Jesus was fully revealed from the first 3 chapters of Genesis, because that was not the intent of the authors. That was not the intent of God to reveal everything all at once. It's been a gradual over history and chronology, and within the Scripture itself, it's a gradual revelation.
So how come then we're not told fully about it until the last book of the Bible, which is Revelation?
Well, here's the thing about Revelation.
I mean,
It's not the
the devil is
revelation of the
kind of
Antichrist.
important within Christianity.
It's not the revelation of the Antichrist. It's not the revelation of end times. It's the
No, of
revelation of
course,
Jesus
of course.
Christ. So Revelation is the ultimate revelation of Christ. But these other characters along the story are also revealed in the same nature that Christ is over time and through a progressive inspiration of divinely written Scripture. You don't give away the main characters, everything about them right off the bat, you know.
Not in a fictional story that's supposed to entice the reader. You don't. That's true. But this is
Well, not
supposed
even
to be not
yeah,
that. So
not
it
even in
doesn't make sense.
nonfiction.
It's not supposed to be entertainment literature. It's supposed to tell us the story about everything seen and unseen in all of man's history. And
Sure.
as you know, I don't believe that, but that's
Well, I would say all of man's history.
What's that supposed to be?
I would say it's
Point of the text. It's not like a crime novel where you're supposed to like find out who's the villain.
I would say it's the history of God's chosen people, Israel, from the beginning to probably, I would say, 68 AD when Revelation was penned by John. And then the end was 70 AD, and we no longer have any more history of these people because they were scattered throughout the whole world. And now we have a more open relationship with the Father through Jesus Christ, and that we don't have to go through the temple to sacrifice bulls and goats, and that Christ was the final sacrifice for us. But we don't find that all out in Genesis. We don't find that all out in the very origin
No,
story. I mean, it's setting the
they
scene.
don't play a role in Genesis either, but the serpent does play a very pivotal role.
Oh, absolutely.
So
he does throughout Scripture, and he's revealed
why
over
not?
time his character and nature throughout the Bible?
I simply do not see it.
I do not see it. Maybe I'm paying too much attention to driving because I'm going
Perhaps.
fast, or I'm trying to anyway.
I posted the link at least to the Iowa site if you want to read all of it later on. So
thank you.
Varsågod. Sorry,
You
that
see-
was Swedish.
Oh, that's right. You want to see what's
It
in the
sounded very
video?
kind.
It was.
Sure.
I had studied Egyptian mythology and Greek mythology for fun, and I kept encountering atheists trying to argue that Jesus was a copy of Horus or Dionysus or Mithra. And I had known from studying these mythologies that was utter nonsense. And so I was like, if this is the best I can find among atheists at that current time, obviously.
So what he says here about Jesus being Horus, unfortunately, there are uneducated, I don't mean uneducated over the, not that they don't know anything, but on the subject, uneducated, who thinks that Horus is some kind of Messiah figure, which is wrong. The God that is actually a rising and dying God that has this shows a close relationship with the type of character that Jesus is Osiris. I just wanted to say that. That's all.
Well, of course, Osiris was Horus's son, so there's that connection.
Yeah, but Horus isn't killed and resurrected.
Well, that's Osiris, right? But Horus is Osiris's father, which is
the person
parallel between God the Father and Jesus Christ the Son, and the death and resurrection.
Yeah, but it's not.
It's not Horus.
If we're talking of, no, exactly.
It's Osiris.
That's my
Yeah.
point. Yes.
I was agreeing with you.
Yeah, I know.
Obviously, there is better, but I didn't find it at the time. Maybe there's some better evidence for Christianity. So I went to C.S. Lewis. I went to some other apologists, and I thought the evidence for the resurrection is better than I thought. The evidence for the reliability of the New Testament is better than I thought. So through a slow, long process, I slowly came back to becoming a Christian. I didn't have a come to Jesus moment for me. It was wrestling with this objection until finally, I think one day, who knows when, I decided that I think this makes sense, and I think Christianity is the most coherent worldview.
Yeah, and what I love about that is I'm very confident you're not alone in that kind of journey that goes along that. And also, my favorite line is, I studied Egyptian mythology for fun. Well, hey, Mike, so much for sharing your story with us. And where can people find you?
You can find me at my website, inspiringphilosophy.org. I'm on YouTube, youtube.com/inspiringphilosophy. I'm on TikTok. I do some comedy videos there as well, where I go after some of the craziest stuff out there. But I'm also on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, same handle as well.
All right, excellent. Thank you.
What do you think of that?
That was Mike Jones.
Oh, Mike Ball Jones. I'd like to see him come on here and you talk to him. What would
What
you
do you
like
call
to...
him? Michael Ball Jones? Like Mike Jones. I think of the rapper Mike Jones whenever I hear Mike Jones.
I think he had someone ask him, are you that rapper Mike Jones?
Yeah.
That was funny. I can imagine you being a rapper, Mark. Called Mark.
No.
Marker.
No. I can rap presents, but that's about it. I don't spit bars.
Oh. We've been on here since, I don't know.
All right. Time to leave, skedaddle, go away. Good night. Sayonara. Hasta luego.
See you maybe later on at Brother Pike. Thank you for coming on, everyone.
All right.
Thank
You have a good one.
you.
Bye.
My
Thank
room will
you.
be open if anybody wants to hang out.
Take care.
Adieu.
Bye.
Sayonara. Hasta luego.